At CoCoTALK, we'd like to thank the patrons who sponsor our show, so our heartfelt gratitude goes out to Al Hartman, Alan Huffman, Blair Ledoux, Boaton John, Brendan Donahue, Brian Weasler, D. Bruce Moore, Davey Mitchell, Diego, Patrick Randolph, Dinty, Eric Canales, Frodo NL, Glenn Hewlett, Graham Vebke, Grant Leedy, Henry Strickland, Jason Downs, Ken Reichert, Kyle Etter, Malfunk, Michael Pitsley, Rick Hewlin, Paul Fiscarelli, Paul Shoemaker, Paul Thayer, Richard Lorbieski, Jenna Farron, Rob Inman, Alan Murphy, Stephen Wagner, Terry Steen, The Backyard Shed Gang, Tom C., Tom S., Tim Lindner, and Tony C. Thank you ever so much, patrons. CoCoTALK is an unscripted live broadcast. Anything can and will happen. The views and opinions expressed by members of the panel and the live audience are their own and not necessarily those of the CoCoTALK show, its sponsors, affiliates, or subsidiaries. Open minds encouraged, sense of humor recommended. If any off-color comments were made, we're sorry.
We're sorry.
Hi, this is Dale Lear, designer of TRS-80 Color Baseball, and you're listening to CoCoTALK.
This is CoCoTALK, the only show in the world featuring David Ladd. It's time to grease your weasel and do whatever yo please'll, cause we're about to rock your 8-bit world. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to CoCoTALK episode 191. We're going to be walking in Winter Wonderland and talking about our Christmas wish list, spreading cheer and goodwill towards all those in the Coco community, even those who like the 6502. Welcome to CoCoTALK. All right. Good afternoon, everybody. It's like winter. Mix. It's winter, man. And it is like 70 degrees here in Florida, man. I don't know how you guys deal with
Florida
that crap.
winters must be killer.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Alan Huffman just popped in there. Have a great show, folks. I really enjoyed watching last week's episode on the podcast. I hope to join in soon. Lots of stuff to show and tell. All right. Thank you. 8 Bits in the Basement says, found it. How are you all? We've had a lot of people in the live chat already. David Ladd has been out there. Kevin Holloway, one of the first people arriving early, saying testing 1, 2, 3. Mark B, Rob Ianman. Kevin Holloway asking for David Ladd by name. David Ladd's getting the request already. Bill
David
Noble.
Ladd asked for him by name.
That's right. Bill Noble's out there. Kevin Holloway. Samuel Gimes.
Oh no!
Jim
Let Gimes
Rye,
in.
Jim Rye is here. TJB Chris, Tim Franklin, the live chat. We could just sit here and mention the people in the live chat for 4 hours now. It is hopping. This joint is hopping. We're here. Real quick, I need to make a verbal correction to the intro that I screwed up on that I have not had a chance to fix. But the Amigos Retro Gaming guys became a patron a couple weeks ago. And I said John and Boat. I should have said John and Aaron, and I said John and Boat because John and Boat are literally the same person. So, so thank you, John and Aaron and Brett and all of you amigos for the fine quality entertainment you bring to the world, and thank you for being a patron. John and Aaron, John Schaller, a.k.a. Boat of Car, Aaron and Brett, thank you guys, and thank you for being patrons, and thank you guys for watching. And in advance, we'll just say, we're sorry. But we're here. We've got a wonderful panel. We have all kinds of people here. We've got Rick Euland in the house. Good afternoon to you, Rick.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you, Rick. Now, our Hispanic correspondent, L. Curtis Boyle, was not able to be here, but what we do have filling in from Francais, we have the very French Le Curtis Boyle. Bonjour, Le Curtis.
Bonjour, Stevie. I am here. You of course know my Spanish cousin El Curtis Boyle. I am Le Curtis Boyle,
Oui.
and I am happy to help you with the news.
You are looking very, how you say, très magnifique.
Ah, c'est bon.
Oh, oui, oui.
Wow.
Yes, yes. We have our backup engineer and all-around good-looking fellow, Mark Bowes. He's with us. Hello, Mark.
Hello.
We got a guy who knows a few things about coding the Coco joysticks and PSGs and all kinds of other good stuff. Alan Murphy's with us this afternoon. Hello, Alan.
Howdy, howdy. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Welcome, welcome. We've got a guy whose name is so nice we must say it at least thrice. It's none other than Nick Maroda. How are you today, sir?
I'm doing well, my friend. It's fantastic to be here.
It's fantastic to have you here. We've got a guy who gets a few things on eBay, makes us all jealous. He's got what some people might call a problem, but we just call him Brian Weasler. How you doing today, Brian?
Very good. Happy Merry Coco Christmas.
Oh, well, Merry Coco Christmas to you. This guy has been given permission from Sarah to be on the show today. It's Jason the Coco Man Reichert. How you doing, Jason?
Oh, I'm just great. I've just been handed a sandwich, fresh from the kitchen. I've got my Diet Dr. Pepper, and I am set to go. Oh, and since Marco's not here right now, I've got my Marco visor ready to go.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. We are so glad that that's happening.
Better make sure she took the wrapper off the cheese.
Yes. We got a guy who knows a little bit about music. He knows a little bit about MIDI. He sometimes has problems with his throat, but hopefully he's cleared and decongested today. Brian, the Music Man Schubring, how are you today?
Silent.
It's the best he's ever sounded.
Everybody.
Yes. Brian, you're still muted. That's like the 2020 catchphrase. You're on mute, right? So, and you've never sounded better on mute, Brian.
Boys from Bar Soon.
Okay. Wonderful. All right.
Capital.
Welcome, Brian.
It's like
Oh, he's got.
Can you do the Chipmunks Christmas song now?
No. I'm
Okay.
sorry. I'm back to Earth.
Okay, he's got his audio spectrum analyzer hot. Is that picking up the show from us, Brian? The analyzer, is that live?
Sure is. I got my Coco 2 all hooked up and through VGA and HDMI and everything now.
Wow, that's a lot of acronyms there.
Yeah.
FYI, he's got VGA,
That's why.
HDMI.
That's why it looks like such a mess. It's picking up the show.
Oh, but it's such a beautiful mess.
Oh. Well, this person has many talents, but one of the things that we most appreciate is the You'll Go Far, Fletcher. Please welcome to the program, Allison Deneau. You're muted and you're drinking. You got a mouthful of God knows what over there. There you go. We didn't hear a word you said, but that's okay. I'm sure you meant well. Welcome to the program. We already mentioned Brian. We've got a guy who took live streaming literally on the show. Grant Leedy's here. How you doing, Grant?
Hey, how's it going, everybody?
Wonderful. How about those Kansas City Chiefs, Grant? They doing okay this year?
Oh, yeah, we're first place, and we kicked those Dolphins' butts.
Now, we were giving you a run for your money for a little while last week. So that was good to see. And last, but certainly not least, I certainly hope he's excited to be here. It is none other than David Ladd. David, are you here? And how do you feel about being here today?
Oh, I'm here. Oh, I'm here. Everybody's probably regretting I'm here, but I'm here. And I'm happy to be here. And it's going to be a great Coco Christmas. I hope everybody's excited for the great Coco Christmas. And I am hoping that everybody's happy for this show and ready to see it go right down those railroad tracks. Are you ready, Stevie? Are you ready?
I am ready. I am excited to be here.
All right, let's get this train going down the tracks.
My weasel, and I am ready to get the flux out of here. Okay, so we are going to have, I'm not going to say we're going to have a great show for you, but we're going to have a show for you today nonetheless. And Leigh Curtis Boyle, how are you today, eh?
We will have a great show. It will be only 7.5 hours long.
And what is that in Le French? What's the metric conversion of 7.5 hours?
Is it time for
7.5
commercial break
hours is
already?
like 3.3 milli hours.
That is only 2.75 kilometer per hour.
Kilo hours. Okay. All right. So
C'est un show de formidable.
all right, we got nothing else to say. Good night, everybody. This concludes another episode of CoCoTALK, the world's leading live talk show featuring the Tandy Color Computer. For all things CoCoTALK, visit us on the web at cocotalk.live. We'd love to hear from you. Send feedback, suggestions, even segments via email to CoCoTalk@Coco. All right, welcome to episode 192. We're back.
Wee. It's a time
Who
for a
gave you
commercial
the
break
controls?
All right, so we did get a little bit. By the way, great show last week. Probably because I wasn't on it. It was an amazing show, fantastic show, incredible show. Amazing people on that show talking about incredible things. Nitrous 9, big fan of the show, big fan of the Nitrous 9. Great show. We did get a little bit of feedback from the viewers and from our panel and our community. We had a few people say that during the presentation that they would have liked less questions to have been asked during the presentation. So we have heard, the people have spoken. We have listened, so we're going to try to self-contain that, and we've kind of enacted a policy where when we have a special presentation, we're going to ask everybody to hold questions to the end. So we're going to try to do that, realize it's a live show. We are human. Sometimes we're excited. Sometimes we just got to know. But we will try to do that because we had some requests for that, and we will try to do the best we can to self-regulate when needed. So we've heard that. Also, real quick, I want to remind you, and we'll probably bring it up again in the news, but tomorrow is a very special event. Tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, 6 p.m. Pacific, and whatever time it is for anywhere else in the third world, we're having the Glenside Virtual Meetup. This is an official Glenside Color Computer Club event. For those of you who don't know, Glenside is who brings us CoCo Fest. This will be taking place via Blue Jeans, and you can join on a browser. You don't have to install any software, but it'll be a mixed media. You can join via camera if you want to. You can call in via audio, and it's just kind of an end of the year open house gathering. Let's get together. Let's talk about CoCo. Let's talk about what you've been up to, all that kind of stuff. There's no agenda. There's no minimum or maximum requirements other than come and be willing to be social with other people in the CoCo community. There will be a link to that on the Glenside Color Computer website, glensideccc.com. It's also in the newsletter, which hopefully we'll mention. The newsletter came out. The link is there. But we would definitely like to have some people come and meet the folks from Glenside. They're fine folk. They're good people. They're salt of the earth kind of people. And they have been bringing us CoCo Fest for 29 years now. So you gotta like that, right? So just want to get that out right away. We don't have any special presentations today, so we'll probably jump right into GameON. Do we want to this just so we know? Number one, is anybody pressed for time today? And if anybody is pressed for time today, if you had something you needed to do a show and tell on, do you want to get that out of the way while you have time? Anyone? Bueller? Alan Murphy? Are you pointing to Allison? Okay, Allison is wearing the proper David Ladd odor preparation tool, the gas mask. But Brian, did you have a show and tell today? It's probably a rhetorical question, but I'm sure you have something to show?
Yeah, I have something I can share later, but
okay.
We're good.
You're not pressed for time.
Nope,
okay.
Let's go.
All right. Well, how about we just jump in then? And by the way, I'm not sure if Mr. Dave is out there, but this was Mr. Dave's idea. So if you like the GameON segment, you can thank Mr. Dave. If you don't like the GameON segment, it's Mr. Dave's fault. And then we'll just throw him right under that train. But I know Nick Marotta likes it because he gets to talk and hear himself speak for extended periods of time. Now, do we also have, if I'm not mistaken, do we have a special CoCo Thoughts? Oh, we should also mention that too. Ken Reichard released the entire CoCo Thoughts playlist on YouTube. Did I say Ken Reichard? I meant to say Samuel Gimes. Samuel Gimes released the entire CoCo Thoughts playlist on YouTube. And so if you're a fan of the CoCo Thoughts segments, you can check them all out, and especially the musical parodies, which are, especially Ron Delvaux likes those, and I know a lot of us do like those musical parodies. So check those out. We should probably fish up that link and throw it out in the live chat so people can do it. All right, so I believe, speaking of Samuel Gimes, I believe we've got a special Samuel Gimes CoCo Thoughts inspired presentation. Let's find out right now, shall we? Is Is everybody excited? David, are you excited for Coco Thoughts?
Oh, yes, I am.
Oh, yes. He is. Ooh. Here we go, everybody.
And now, Coco Thoughts by Samuel Gimes. The intergalactic spiders tried to catch me in their web. I turned my ship and shot a spider dead. Out came some more to avenge all the slain, and the intergalactic spiders tried to kill me once again.
Oh, wow. Okay, I was waiting to see if there was more, but that was it. That was it. All right.
Sweet.
Okay.
My
It was
Coco Thoughts is over.
short and sweet. Short and sweet. That's a great one there, too. I don't think we have to worry about a copyright ding on that one. The Itsy Bitsy Spider. One of my favorite songs, too. If only he had done this while he was doing it, that would really have added to the experience. Very, very cool. Thank you, Samuel Gines, for all that you do. What did you guys think of that one? Was that good?
I thought it was very cute. Yes.
Okay. Very good.
I had no idea where he's going with this one again. So
yes, and so I have to queue them up in OBS to be able to stream them, but I don't like to watch them in advance because I want to be genuinely surprised.
Oh, I do watch them because I
yeah.
can't wait.
Right. We're being asked what the link is to the Samuel Gimes YouTube channel. Samuel Gimes, if you're out there, maybe you could post a link.
I will get it out here in just a few minutes.
Okay, Jason the Coco Man Reichard will find that for us shortly. All right, it's time for
High Score Challenge.
All right, welcome to another week of results. This week we played Spider Side with 24 scores submitted. Mark B, 160. Joshua Craker, 200. R. Ellen Murphy, 250. Adam Tandy Dragon Guy, 380. Mr. Dave, 410. Me, 410. Sloopy Malibu, 490. Marcy, 560. Just Mike, 660. Chet Simpson, 690. Damon Beals, 700. Ben Vier Drake, 750. Ken Reichard, 980. Virgilio Perea, 1270. Jim Rye, 1280. Frodo NL, 1300. David Craker, 1360. Canadian Retro Things, 1410. David Ladd, 1420. AC's 8-Bit Zone, 1560. Nathan, 1740. Tom C, 1760. 8-Bits in the Basement, 2320. And the number one score this week belongs to Tasman with 3,910. Way to go. Nice score. Thank you to all these week's participants and for another great week of gaming.
All right, great job, Tasman. Great scores in there. For a minute there, I thought Mark Bosley was competing with Coco Man for a low score. We didn't get a Coco Man low score this week. Excellent, excellent, excellent. So
Yeah.
24 players. That's pretty good. That's pretty consistent, right? That's a good turnout.
Yeah, I was happy with that. Well, I'm happy every week, but yeah, we're usually hitting above 20 now, which I think is pretty good. And this game definitely, I think this game kind of flew under the radar. I was not able to find any mention of it at least in Rainbow, so I don't really have any score or review to talk about for this one. But we did get gameplay footage from Canadian Retro Things.
Thank you very much.
Who features our games on his channel, on his YouTube channel. So thanks again, Canadian Retro Things, for that. So I assume you guys can see my screen.
We
okay?
can see it, yes.
All right. And as you see, he's played an alternate color set. He said press M, but that didn't work for me, so I'm not quite sure. But anyway, he liked this color set for recording, so
Okay.
he went with this one. So Yeah, I like this game. It's difficult, very low scoring. I was pretty low on the list of scores, because I found those spiders that move around really hard to evade. But Canadian Retro Things does the strategy of staying in place and shooting from there. And I know others found that effective as well. So, yeah, anybody have anything they want to say about this game? Who played this week?
It looks pretty cool. I did not get a chance to play it this week, but it looks cool. Ken Reichert was mentioning it's got kind of an asteroid knockoff feel to it.
Yeah. Yes. Oh, and AC's 8-Bit Zone said it was a cartridge game, he believes.
Okay, yeah.
It was.
So, yeah.
And I was hoping for a can of Raid at every turn.
Mm-hmm. Does it get to the point where there's more than one spider on the screen at a time, or is it always just one spider at a time?
I couldn't tell you that. I don't know.
Okay.
I believe there's only one, but and they just trap you. They just keep trapping you in. They say this is sort of reminiscent of the Star Trek episode, the Tholian one.
Okay,
is that
yeah,
what it's called?
yeah, when they were wrapping stuff around the Enterprise.
Yeah. So there's 4 types of spiders: the ones that move straight, fast, and slow, and then the ones who move in the zigzagging pattern and zero in on you, fast and slow. So, AC's 8-Bit Zone saw a cartridge on eBay just this week for this game.
Okay, cool.
AC, do you remember how much they were asking for it? Were the eBay prices?
It's probably only a couple grand, you know.
Yeah.
Was it vintage and or rare? Because that does affect the price. If it's vintage, it goes up. If it's rare, it goes up. If it's vintage and rare, forget it.
But it was rare spelled with an @ sign.
Ah, rat air.
Rewrapped, new in stock. Yes.
How about that new old stock Coco 3 last week?
Oh my goodness! Yeah, I went for 700. Was
okay, so we're looking at like $12 to $30 apparently.
That's a reasonable price.
Yeah, that's reasonable.
2 available. So yeah, I found those spiders that move around, zigzag in on you. I couldn't evade those things. So basically, it was like, as long as I was getting the straight movers, I was okay. But as soon as the zigzag came out, I was like, I'm dead. So I'm not. I knew leading up to this game, like I said, during my play testing, before I like to make sure it works okay in the Coco 2 and 3. My playtesting, I knew I sucked, but I don't pick games I'm good at. I want to be fair. I just pick games that are interesting. And this is one I thought was kind of unique to the Coco. I don't remember seeing anything else like it. I could be wrong.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But, you can see the asteroids, tie in there when you have that kind of triangle shaped ship that you can rotate and shoot in all directions. That's very much asteroids inspired. And I guess you could consider the spider like an asteroid, but it's a little bit more, focused versus just on a trajectory. And then you also have this added element of the barriers. It's an interesting mashup of ideas.
Mr. Dave in chat, I agree with him. He says he's implying that while it's might be better strategy to stay still, Mr. Dave says it's more fun to fly your ship around, and I agree with that.
Yeah.
I found that using a digital control pad at least gave you was a little easier to control. Then you can just left and right to rotate, and forward and back to move forward and back, as opposed to the analog stick where as soon as you're on an angle, you're moving and rotating, and you end up forming these loops and stuff. Which I guess if you get good at it, that'd be fun. But I'm not, so I like the digital control pad better.
So who here in the panel played this week? We know that you did, Nick. We know that Mark B did. Mark, did you spend a fair amount of time playing the game?
Little while, a few minutes on it.
Did you like it?
David Ladd played.
I found it, at least using on VCC, was kind of hard to control it.
Okay.
I did finally figure out left and right was turning and up and down was like moving.
Oh, like the thrust.
Yeah.
Okay, Scott Cooper, Tasman, our winner this week, also mentioned that the digital joystick was easier than analog in this case here. Pro tip.
That's how I ended up not getting 0.
Good one.
I'm just looking to see who Yeah, Ken Reichard played. Chet Simpson played. He does. He's selective on the games he takes part in, but it was nice to see. I know he likes this one. I'm pretty sure he mentioned it to me, and it was one of the reasons I picked it because I heard him mention it.
Well, he patched it for 2
Oh,
megabytes.
that's a good story. Yes,
Yeah.
it wasn't working properly. The way it was patched was for the 2 megs was sloppy. So Chet patched it. It's
That's
nice
cool.
to have people in our circle that can do things that quickly. So,
Yeah.
So yeah, that was good. And it was nice. I got AC's family submitted scores yesterday. His wife and his son.
That's cool.
So I love that. So I'm glad to see that this was a game that Marcy enjoyed, and Joshua Quaker, of course, who's the son of David Quaker, participated.
Yeah, I like it when we get the family participation. That's unexpected, but that's nice.
Yeah, absolutely. It's nice. I really enjoyed that. It's made it that much nicer.
And David Ladd, are you still with us, or did you step away?
No, I'm still here.
What were your experiences playing the game this week?
Well, yeah, it's not a bad game. I actually had this game when I was a kid. It's not in my top favorites, but I like the game.
How often did you play it? Did you play it a handful of times at least, or?
I played it a couple different nights. But yeah, it's cool. It's okay.
Now what I think I just saw there, the barrier itself, it's just an obstacle, but it's not a collision thing where you're not going to die if you hit the wall, right?
Right. Thank goodness.
It
you
just stops
get
you.
trapped.
Okay, so so that part I wasn't sure about. I'm like, man, if you can't touch the walls, that's really going to suck.
Oh, that would have been evil. I'm really glad. I'm kind of thinking that it looks like it only goes on certain, like it looks like it's forming a grid, so it doesn't. So I guess it picks for its position only certain points along the map, so you end up with a grid.
Yeah, it's interesting.
That's pretty cool.
Kind of mesmerizing to watch.
Like
this is the default color set. So which is your P mode 4 or P mode 4.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Good stuff.
So all right.
Yeah.
So thanks again, guys, for this week. That was great. And I guess are we ready to talk about the next game?
Well, just real quick, anybody who played, does anybody have any tips or tricks? So we've heard that we have a strategy for staying in the center. We've got some people say they prefer to fly around. Digital joysticks seem to work best, but anybody else have any takeaways to share? Or is this
Leave yourself room to move. They'll wall you in fairly early. Bump up against one of those walls and blast it down so that you have a place to escape to.
A path.
One of those zigzag spiders shows up.
Gotcha.
AC Zipid Zone says keep the fire button down for constant fire. Yeah, I did that.
Okay. It's definitely, you can see the asteroid's inspiration, but it doesn't like at first glance scream, oh yeah, this is an asteroid's clone or derivative, right? Like,
no.
Unlike Lancer or Buzzard Bait or whatever. This one,
I think your asteroid's clone would be like microbes.
Microbes, and there was something else too. There was at least 2 or 3 asteroids clones, I thought. Okay, so Ken's strategy is kill spiders and don't die. Okay, good pro tip right there.
How much do you pay to watch this show to get valuable advice like that? Like back in the day, you had to buy magazines.
So I think we should share something else too, just because we've noticed recently that there are people that are already waiting in queue on the show before the show goes live, and I wasn't even sure how that was possible since YouTube changed a few things on me. But because I set the show up in advance and I set the show to be in the CoCoTALK playlist, apparently if you go to the OG Stevie Stroh YouTube channel, find the CoCoTALK playlist, you'll see the most recent episode there, and that way you can you can be on the show before the show starts. And honestly, I didn't even know that was possible. I just found out recently that people were doing that, and I wasn't sure how they're getting there. So I actually did it on my smart TV. So I actually went on my smart TV in the YouTube app. I went to my channel. I went to playlists. I went to CoCoTALK. I saw this episode was there. I clicked on it. The screen was blank, and as soon as we went live, it's up on my TV now. So there is a way to get the show ready before the show starts. And as far as I know, that's the only way to do it. So just free advice there for those who want to be early. And we had a lot of early birds today. And thank you, and we're sorry.
Yeah, people start chatting a couple minutes before the show starts.
Yeah,
It's nice.
yeah, it's
So
interesting. Yeah.
you're welcome to do that. Anybody that wants to.
That's today's nickels worth of free advice.
Nickels worth of free advice. And it's probably also worth mentioning, because I don't know that everybody knows this, but for those of you who commute, there are podcast versions available of the show, both audibly and visually. So you can subscribe to CoCoTALK on your favorite podcast application, and you can take us with you wherever you go. And so there's free advice there too. No, it looks like an interesting game. I do regret not having time to play it this week, but it looks like it's fun.
Yeah.
And you know,
I definitely will add this to my list of games that
there's been a lot of unexpected things that have come out of this GameON challenge. Some of them are just finding games that we maybe never would have played before. Sometimes we find that, hey, I found a game I really like that I probably wouldn't have tried, or sometimes, now that I've tried it, maybe it's not my favorite. I think the big surprise was that when we had the big joust battle, that we thought there was going to be a clear victor. It was close, but honestly, the closest runner-up was Pegasus. So
we honestly still talk about
the Lancerd buzzard bait debate is almost like, well, apparently Lancerd is just, the people have spoken, and Lancer is third place, and those people are wrong, but that's okay. But the fact that Pegasus was a super close contender in our little vote was really a surprise. All puns aside, it was the dark horse in this race. So there's a lot of things we find, like, and when we first started, it's amazing when you think how long we've been doing it. But Donkey King was the first one. I must have played Donkey King hundreds of times back in the day, but I never played it competitively. I never played it like taking it seriously, like how many points can I get, what level can I get to. You just played it to play it. And then in the course of playing that game, you learn things like, well, if you use the hammer every level, I'm like, I don't want to use the hammer. That's just going to waste time. Hammers are for wimps, right? But, when you're playing for points, you can use the hammer twice on every level and just, smack the crap out of stuff and get those points. And so these different strategies and approaches to playing, they start to evolve. So the fact that we have a bunch of people playing together and it becomes a shared experience, that's fun. The fact that we got people with their kids playing and their spouses, and it's become a family thing, that was unexpected, and that's just fun. So a lot of good times have come out of this. So again, I mentioned at the beginning of the segment, this was Mr. Dave's suggestion. So for those who like it, you can thank him. If you don't, it's his fault. He's under the bus. But yeah, this has been cool. This has been fun. And it's obviously a regular segment on the show now. So cool.
Yeah. Well, also, don't forget the amount of effort that Nick puts into it. That's, I think, what sustained it and kept it growing.
Absolutely.
I think he puts at least 3 times the effort into it.
Yeah, he puts in thrice the effort of any other segment host on this show.
Well, that's why I have to say his name thrice.
Nick.
Power him up for the next episode.
Yeah, Nick takes this very seriously. He has fun with it, but he takes it seriously. He's on top of this. It's work throughout the week for him to tally these numbers and then produce the videos. And so, yeah, good job, Nick, on this segment.
Thank you.
It's been a runaway success.
Thank you. Yeah, we're coming up on our 46th game, so it's going to be a year in about 6 weeks of this.
Scott Cooper says it was voter fraud. Yeah,
cool. I can't believe it's been 46 weeks. Like it's unbelievable. So I do have a list. I keep a list current of all the games that we've done.
I believe our French correspondent might have a figure of speech for that. How you say, Les Curtis, when something is very good? It is a.
It is a c'est bon.
Oh, c'est bon. Oh, oui. Okay. Oui. Merci, Les Curtis. Merci. So we have.
I do have complaint for Nick Marotta. There's been no OS9 game.
Oh. I believe that is because OS9 les sucks.
Do they even have games on OS9?
Of course they do.
Yes, we got Gem Quest.
Pac-Man, OS9.
We have Thexter. There's a lot of stuff on OS. And Beta 6 is going to be bringing more. We got all the Sierra games.
My favorite game on OS9 is Quick Gen.
Quick Gen.
Whether you get it food or not.
Are we talking OS 9 laissez use?
Laissez use.
Thought you would have.
My favorite OS 9 thing is when I hit the reset button twice and go back to color basic.
Just hit reset twice. Cool. Good times. Good times. Ken says OS 9 is its own adventure game. Oh.
You're in a clearing next to a Coco.
Okay,
dysentery.
so the suspense is killing me, Nick Marotta. What game will the world and their families be playing next week?
All right. Well, next week's game is a request. I apologize. I can't remember who requested it, but it was on my list of requests that I maintain. And it is a clone.
Dun, dun, dun.
And I know you guys will know what this is when you see it.
Okay. Dun, dun, dun.
Oh,
Brewmaster.
Brewmaster, yes. This is a game that appeared on many different consoles and computers back in the day. It was a heavily covered game. So we have our own
clone of Tapper or Root Beer Tapper, depending on which version you played in the arcade.
Yes. So, the object of the game, for those who haven't played, basically is to serve a drink to your patrons here. You got to make sure that you have to make sure you don't slide too many glasses down the bar, otherwise they crash. And you got to make sure they're actually facing you. Sometimes they'll stand with their back to you.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to send a mug of drink down the bar when they are facing you and when they're demanding it. Otherwise and then they throw it back in the empty glass. You got to make sure they don't fall on the floor.
Right.
So you up and down on the joystick to change which tap you're standing in front of, and then left and right to run across.
And another cool animation, which I think they brought into this game, is when you're switching lanes, it leaves like a little whirl animation, like the kind of the cartoon of a cloud of smoke when somebody runs away. So you see like this little slash or this little whirl as the guy's moving up and down. I think that was in the arcade. What we're not seeing back here, just because of the vertical height of the Coco versus the arcade, is you don't see like the back wall and the marquee. And so the original version was just called Tapper, and there was a banner that said Budweiser. And apparently some parents got what we call a lay stick and lay bum, and we're not happy about kids playing a game that had beer on there, so it got renamed to Root Beer Tapper later on. It was censored because the man was holding us down, and so it became Root Beer Tapper, and so now he's serving root beer to clients versus real beer. Same game, but good times. It gets faster. You get more people in the lanes as time goes on. They get tricky. They'll stop looking. They'll look the other way. Every now and then you get a bonus round where the guy will shake up the cans and do the shuffle game. You got to find the unshaken can for points. Was there other bonus rounds besides that? I don't remember.
No, I don't think so. Did this one have that bonus round?
Yeah,
I think
the bonus
it did,
round
right?
is in this one. Yeah.
Okay.
So
you have to keep the customers 6 feet apart, right?
Yes.
Oh, that's the COVID.
The COVID edition. They're all wearing masks. Yeah. So sanitizing the glasses.
And just as a note, this is one of the ones that when you play on your Coco 3, you're going to want to do the F1 reset for the correct artifact color scheme.
Sanitize the glasses. Let's not get crazy, people.
Mm-hmm. Sanitize the glasses. Yes. Okay.
Now, the bonus round in Australia was actually you might have got some color in it.
Ah. Yeah, and so Frodo's mentioning there's no dancers in this one. So apparently in the arcade version there were intermissions of dancing girls, like can
dancers. Yeah. I'm sure parents probably had something against that too.
Damn parents always raining on our parade. They suck. All right, so
so that's our game for the week, and thank you, Stevie. Thank you to all the participants this week.
The name of the game is Brewmaster.
Brewmaster.
That's Le Brewmaster.
Le Brewmaster.
Thank you, Stevie, and the participants, and I look forward to seeing what you guys do with this game this week.
Oh, absolutely. We've just been joined by Chad Cunnington, Nick's neighbor from Australia. G'day, Chad. How you doing?
G'day. Had my last shift yesterday. I'm on holidays for a month.
All right. God bless you. On holiday.
Going to put a shrimp on the barbie.
I'm down to the beach for 5 days and up the mountains for a week, so that'll be awesome.
Okay.
Catching up with family.
So, Lay Curtis Boyle, will you be ready to do our GameON news?
Yes,
I'll do a quick introduction for you, and then you can take it away.
We will do GameON.
And now, Coco.
All right, everybody, it's time for GameON News with our French correspondent, Leigh Curtis Boyle. Take it away, Leigh Curtis.
Thank you. I will try to post the links at the same time. This is this is what is known as multitasking.
Oui, oui.
Are you doing this on the Matra and Hachette?
I don't know what you said. But,
the Little Red Alice.
There we go.
We can see you, L. Curtis. Leigh Curtis.
Yes.
Leigh Curtis Boyle. Baguette not included.
Leigh Curtis Boyle.
Does that mean
Paul
that our regular
Shoemaker.
Curtis Boyle is like Spanish?
Yes.
That's
he's
right.
L. Curtis Boyle.
L. Curtis.
That means the Curtis Boyle in Spanish.
That's right.
Yes.
Paul Shoemaker showed an update to his Semigraphics 12 3D maze game, which now includes overlay windows.
Leigh Curtis.
Oh,
Can you repeat that with the right fake accent, please?
You're gonna make me do that.
Can we please not do that? I was really just I was just breathing a sigh of relief when he dropped the phony accent.
Oh, come on.
Paul Shoemaker
S'il vous plaît.
showed an update to his Semigraphics 3D maze game.
Oh, very good. Très magnifique.
My wife.
Merci.
Which now includes overlay windows, arrows showing your direction of movement, and many other awesome graphical bits. So let's watch.
Let's roll tape.
How,
Oh, look at that.
Okay.
Look. Oh, I like the detail on the doors. It's locked.
I find this game arrowing.
Yeah. Arrowing. I got it. You can't walk through walls. Hey, idiot. You can't walk through walls. I told you not to be stupid, you moron. Oh, look at that. There's a
Green type of tube.
Oh, look at that. That is a really cool semi-graphics. Oh, spiders. They're scary. Oh, it's David Ladd. Roar.
Is that a playing card?
I don't like you very much, Steve.
Yeah, that is really cool.
That
the
is really
monsters look like playing cards.
Yeah.
One of them looked like an
That is
X-ray.
And the dragon
really cool.
over the horizon there.
And but wait, there's more.
But wait, there's more.
This is a turning animation.
Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that.
Ooh.
Ooh. Cuthbert Dragon, our friend in the UK,
Oui.
has added more dragon game videos.
I
this
believe
week.
he is how you say across le pond.
Across le pont.
Oui.
Oui. And
We just called the UK Ook.
Ook.
In Ook.
I cannot fit les comments in le chat box, but I'm just going to say he added more game videos. Look it up yourselves, folks.
Okay.
Including Bumpers, which is right here.
Okay.
Starfighter, Monsters, Cuthbert and the Golden Chalice, Bendito. Basil
Bendito.
goes ballooning. And many more. Let's just look at one of them. Bumpers.
Bimpers.
Yeah, if you don't mind Frodo posting the links, that would be great. Merci beaucoup.
Oh, Frodo, yeah, if you want to take over, I won't complain.
Okay, so this is kind of pain in the walls. What just killed him, though? I'm assuming you're the smiley face, right?
I don't know.
Okay.
I've never seen the
Yes.
game.
Yeah. It looks like you're navigating the smiley face. It looks like I thought he was painting those walls, or like when you come across it, it puts in the walls for you.
I think he's discovering the walls.
Oh, you're discovering them. Oh, so you don't know where the maze is going to be. It's a mystery maze. Oh, I see. Okay. It was a Le Mystery. Oh, so those were some missing walls there. Okay, shows you where they would have been. Frodo says there's no link for the Bumpers game, though. Okay.
There is no link,
Okay.
Frodo, on this one.
This is the bonus link.
You want to try one of the other ones? Let's see. Star. Oh, this is.
Oh, because he's picking some at random that are not necessarily in the actual news.
Yeah, Curtis didn't actually include a link either.
Bandito. Oh, so this is a slot machine. I was thinking of like
We just won 40p.
cool. High res.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, high res. Not a lot of colors, but that's okay.
Because it's PAL.
Got
Rail
let's
runner.
see.
Yeah, pal.
Oh, Basil goes ballooning.
Cuthbert Dragon. Make sure you guys follow Cuthbert Dragon on the YouTube if you guys like the Dragon games, which there are lots of them, and they're all pretty cool.
And they're mostly compatible.
Yeah.
So you're supposed to shoot the ornithopters?
Pretty cool.
Yeah. Cool stuff. Cool stuff. I'm hearing a little bit of background noise from somebody. Maybe it's you, Chad. If you could maybe mute for a bit if you're not talking. Les mute.
Yeah, it is.
S'il vous
the
plaît.
mute. S'il vous plaît.
Okay. Cool. Cool. All right. That's.
All right, and there's more of them. So
But wait,
please
there's
take a
more.
look.
Okay.
It was a bin.
So make sure you guys look for Cuthbert Dragon on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button, and show
Bin?
him some love.
All right. Well, Frodo, if you're ready, we're going to go to number 3 on the Game On, and this is Jim Gary posted a MC10 port of Conway's Life, originally from 1970.
This is like the Game of Life. Okay. I'm currently in the middle of playing the Game of Life, and so far I've been getting a lot of raw moves, man, raw deals. Okay.
This is Creation by Clive Gifford.
Jim Carrey's my runner-up.
So we have 3 O's. You sunk my battleship.
So I guess I'll skip around, but you know,
and then this is supposed to be creating reactions to things, right? I vaguely comprehend what's supposed to be going on. Thank you for posting those links, Frodo.
Kind of looks like Minefield.
It grows in relation to what was there before. So in adjacent cells, certain rules will decide if a new thing forms there. And you'll get patterns that like fly across the screen and do other neat things.
So it's live.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
Exactly.
kind of like dealing
Lighters,
with yeah, it's like organisms and single cells and stuff like that. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
Okay.
Jim Gary's a beast.
Another game by Jim.
He's my runner-up.
Okay. Jim's game Decoy also got the runner-up prize in the Trash Talkers programming
Oh, now
contest.
look, talk about newsletters. Look at this. This looks really good.
Very 80s.
The color category is where he won. Allison Deneau, our own Allison Deneau, won that category with her game Xenocide, which she will hopefully talk about and demo on the show. And you can see the complete results starting on page 4 of their huge newsletter here.
This is
page 2,
really
page 3.
Video text.
Page 4. Look at that.
Okay, Allison Deneau, winner, Xenocide.
Look at my runner-up.
Jim Gary. Woohoo.
Oh, yeah.
It's not every day you can beat Jim
And
Gary.
you can see
This is
here,
the only
you can
time that's
see-
ever going to happen.
Now with 4 votes, I'm gonna call voter fraud on this one. I believe a recount is in order. I want the names and numbers of all 4 people. I want to know that they're registered
Signature
voters.
matching?
Citizens.
I got both sets of electors.
Now, can we confirm that these voters were actually alive?
Yes.
I'm going to get a major award.
Oh.
Fragile.
Yeah, Ken says nobody can beat Jim Gary with volume. And we're not even talking about how loud he turns it up. We're talking about the quantity of material that he produces on a hourly basis. So, cool
Okay,
stuff.
and-
Congratulations, Allison.
Thank you very much.
It's nice
Thank
to
you
be
very much.
recognized, especially recognized by, not completely in the inner circle, but to be recognized by people in the greater community at large, too. So
My pride is overweening at the moment.
New games for the TRS-80 in 2020. Say it isn't even. How is this even possible?
How is this possible?
How
There's
is
also a
this
video
possible?
by Vintage is the New Old of the winners of this year's competitions, including the TRS-80 Model 1, 2, 3 category, and 2 for the color computers.
Color. You're
starting
French,
at
Le Curtis.
851.
Le Color.
We can take a quick look at the TRS-80 Model 123. It would help.
This is a really interesting game, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, it's semi-graphics. It's higher.
Yeah.
A monochrome semi-graphics is what the TRS-80 was, and what they were able to do with that resolution is utterly impressive.
They're doing
the fact that we're scrolling a Snake game. This is like Snake meets Time Bandit. You know?
Isn't this amazing?
It is. It absolutely is. We're getting smooth scrolling and panning through a playfield.
I assume you get fast reaction on the keyboard too.
That is really impressive.
You have died of hunger.
At least it's not dysentery.
You have died of dysentery.
Yeah, dysentery. So you have to eat food.
All right. Well, let me skip
That's
ahead
cool.
here.
That is really cool.
You got keys. You got all sorts of stuff going on.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of Time Bandit a little bit, like a multi-directional scrolling Time Bandit type game.
Okay, and this is some kind of Trek 2014 with a GitHub
This is
address.
like traditional Trek game.
Yeah, like old school Starfleet text game, right?
Yeah, for God's sakes, Jim.
It's got quadrants and stuff.
Wow.
Ooh.
Look at that. Red alert.
Hey, this is
Oh, look at that. We've got animation on the Birds of Prey going on there.
Mm-hmm.
You got the Enterprise.
But does it go dun dun dun?
Oh, look at that
dun,
explosion.
Dun, 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 dun. Ooh.
Look at that.
Wow.
That was freaking epic, man.
You should see the Uhura fan dance.
Oh, hey, at least the green skin aliens are perfect for this emulator here too. So,
like commercial games here.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
Really cool.
We're getting closer to the.
Is this a long play? Are we actually going to the edge of the galaxy in this one?
Well,
oh, what a calculating.
No man has gone before.
That's right. What are we calculating at this point now?
Those would be the sine and cosine of angles 1 through 359.
Oh, wow. That sounds very scientific.
Yes.
Did
If
I
you
miss
calculated
anything?
them on the fly, it would slow things down.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like 60 seconds of goodness.
Did you not take advantage of the math coprocessor in the Coco? Apparently.
I took that out to put in the real-time clock.
Yes.
You got to pick your battles here.
Yeah.
Oh, so there's your rotating around the Earth type thing.
Exactly.
See, that type of math will never make it into my brain, so and that's fine. Okay.
So what's happening here?
He knows how to work the ship's console. I'm very pleased.
Enemy missiles inbound. Danger, Will Robinson.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, they sort of dance around. They're a little random.
Pew 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 pew.
This is some interesting stuff, by the way. P-copy works so fast that I can keep a storage of the whole screen essentially before you fire your lasers.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, no, this is really cool. This made its way into the newsletter too. So,
yeah.
It looks like, is it popping a zit on the face of the Earth? Is that what just happened there?
It's on the face of another planet.
Oh, another planet. Okay.
Yeah, it's a alien zit.
We're lancing boils on someone's buttock.
Yeah,
okay.
exactly.
That's really classing up the show, Stevie.
Allison, anything you want to particularly cover? So I don't.
Well, this game is the reason why I bought a computer in the first place, kind of. I mean, it's the detritus of the reason why I bought a computer in the first place. When I first realized what computers could do back in 1980, Sonny, it was like, I want to make this game that's so cool where you're going to fly around and blow up planets.
Yeah, that is cool.
And I had this thing in my head where it was going to be this beautiful blue-white planet floating in your view screen, and you'd be all like, yes, I'm thinking in Klingon. Well, it was way beyond anything we could have done with an 8-bit or a 16-bit or today. And this is what's left of it. It's like, well, I'm still dropping bombs on the planet, and they're still firing missiles at me, and but it became way more of an arcade shooter at some point. But that was in my head, and I did I actually wrote something like this back in the 80s, but it was lost to the sands of time.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Mhm.
about, I don't know, 7 or 8 months ago, I just sat down and, just wrote it from scratch.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's impressive.
Pulled out a little high school math in here. You can see the high school math showing.
It's cool.
Thank you.
Now we got a Jim Gary goodie here. Decoy.
We got a decoy. WASD. Okay.
Look
Here
at
we go.
this. This is so cool, man.
Wow.
The stuff and the scrolling.
And this guy's my runner-up. Imagine how great my program must be.
I don't feel like the anti-aliasing is working here.
Yeah. There's almost no zagging.
This is really cool. And he's got the inverted @signs, which are not easy to print. Maybe they're easier on the MC10. Because you almost have to poke that on the screen on the Coco.
I think it's getting the MC10 to not show inverted @s that's hard.
Oh, okay. And there's also probably a poke you could do that would invert everything.
I've done that on the Coco. It's a complete pain in the what.
Yeah. Oh, Ken Reichert says, I tried decoy, but I kept finding the wrong one. No, that's cool.
All right.
Decoy is a French word, Lake Curtis.
Ah, decoy.
It is, well,
It's French for the koi.
It is a ruse.
Decoy. Our friend Frodo is next up. He probably has this memorized. So he did a whole bunch of gameplay. We'll try to flip through some of them. But Frodo, if you post that link, people can check out the whole gameplay video. Here, trying to get to it. Here's Spider.
Hey, good job, Frodo. I'm gonna have to watch some of Frodo's stuff. I have a hard time finding time to watch other people because I'm either working or playing my own games.
Can you see this, Stevie?
Yeah, I can see it. Yeah,
It emulates beautifully.
Yeah. And I'm sorry I missed the week Frodo was on. Frodo, I'd like to get you back on where I could be on with you.
So we talked a lot about Spider Side. So let me skip on.
He's also playing in the P Mode 3 colors. This is not the stock color, right? Because the stock color is the artifact, right?
That's right.
Yeah, and it does work when you press M at the very beginning.
Okay, I can hear some of the sound effects.
Look at Frodo's got a lot of fans in the room here.
Is that why it's so breezy?
That's why it's so breezy. And what are you doing? Is he using a mister?
Yeah.
Look at this. Look at this guy using a mister.
I've never used a mister before. I'll have to try that.
You can just give it a little spritz with your mister and
or a cocoa pie. I can't tell.
Oh,
but
good,
anyway,
Frodo. Yeah, I'd like to get Frodo
He's
back
got
on.
Jet Set Willie.
Ooh, look at that. What's going on? I'm done. Oh, no, with the artifact colors. Yeah, the artifacting on this is pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Now, which core is this? Is this the Coco 3 core from Roger Taylor, or is this the generic Coco 1 and 2 core, or Dragon core?
I don't know.
Hopefully Frodo can answer that for us.
Frodo would have to tell us.
But
Maybe
the
it's the
artifacting,
Dren core.
The Dren core. Now the artifacting is really good.
Okay, and next up on Frodo's list is Jeweled.
And this is Roger Taylor's.
Yes, that's right. Some folks in Facebook were asking if we had any this type of game, and we do.
Yeah, and John Strong has made one too, called Gems.
That's right, Gems and Gems 2.
Okay. So John Strong's, I believe, are not free, but they're probably reasonably priced. Okay, so yeah, Frodo says this is Roger's Coco 3 core. Okay.
Mm-hmm. So let's see what else is next.
That's cool.
All right.
Thanks for
More
playing
Roger.
Coco games, letting the world see that, Frodo. The world needs to see more Coco goodness.
That's right. Now we've got
Manic.
Mansion?
It could be Manic Panic. I used to dye my hair with that. Oh, okay. So
I thought it was just for men. Touch of gray.
I got more than a touch. No, this is really cool. The artifact colors look really good on this. Oh, you see how the floor kind of degrades when you walk on it down there? Those are kind of like pushable floor panels. Look at that freaking honking thing, whatever the hell that thing is. Looks like something from Yellow Submarine, a big meanie or something.
So many games, thanks to our dragon friends. And we've got more.
Oh, we got freaking ostriches. Oh, now this must be on like a ZX Spectrum or something, right? Because I recognize that color palette as not being a Coco one.
Color cartridge.
No, Soviet rock.
In Soviet Russia, game plays you.
Yes. That was cool.
Okay. Let me
Manic.
see what else we got.
Yeah,
This does look
I
like-
love seeing some just random gameplays.
This does look like there's
All
a
kinds
ZX
of
Spectrum.
80s goodness. Wacky. Ooh, Manic Miner. Cool,
All
Frodo.
right.
Very cool,
And
Frodo.
then-
Thank you for your retro contributions.
Thank you. Last but not least,
This just in, too. Steve Bamford, a.k.a. Bosco, posted this to our Discord server today. Oh, Spectrum. Spectrum is saying it's from the Specky.
yes, ZX Spectrum. Circe's Island is back on the development schedule from Steve Bamford in the Circe's Island channel on Discord.
Yeah.
And where can you find our Discord? At
CoCoTalk.discord.
CoCoTalk.discord.
It's layDiscord.laycocotalk.laylive. So discord.cocotalk.live would be the easy to remember link to jump on our Discord server. But if you're in Francais, you put a lay in front of everything.
Lay dot.
Lay dot, yeah.
Discord.cocotalk.live.
Sir, yes, sir.
Circe's Island takes advantage of the Game Master cartridge with its sound chip and runs on all the TRS-80 and Tandy Color Computer 1, 2, and 3 and
Dragon.
compatibles.
It's in Discord. We're pulling it up from the Discord Circe's Island channel under gaming. So yeah, there really wouldn't be a normal link for that. People would have to go to Discord to get it. Love the title screen. Very Japanese looking. Obviously, it seems like a kind of a Mario World inspired type game, but with different characters and maybe some different mechanics. I know there's treasure chests involved and breaking things open and bopping things and all kinds of stuff. Get ready. Bonus stage. Game over. Secret stage. Shh. It's a secret. It's a secret. Shh, 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 shh. One day on a faraway island. Ooh, stage clear. Insert coin. Stage bonus. That is so cool. And honestly, it doesn't look terrible with the green color set. It doesn't look bad. You know, sometimes if you look at arcade games with this green background and like, why couldn't we have more colors? But this doesn't look bad. And
Additional screens.
a lot of rounds and levels. And I remember, I haven't heard it in a while, but remember hearing some earlier versions of some of the background music and title music. It was really good. Using a real sound chip to make background music.
Yep, and the Game Master cartridge is implemented in MAME.
That's right.
I believe.
So MAME and XROAR. And I believe Chet Simpson's got it working for VCC, but he's got to upload it to the repository or whatever. Cool stuff. Really good looking graphics and visuals. Very nice and pixely. It has a familiar feel to it. It very much feels like a Mario or NES type game, but it's got kind of a unique kind of pirate theme and different characters and stuff, but very much like a Japanese inspired side-scrolling platformy type game. Looks really cool.
And that's GameON news.
There we go. That is Game On News, everybody. Thank you, L.A. Curtis Boyle. Merci. Merci beaucoup. Merci beaucoup. How about we do this? We're gonna plug a little bit of the Buck Off promotion just for your holiday viewing pleasure. We'll take a brief commercial break after that, and then we'll come back with news with our foreign correspondent, L.A. Curtis Boyle. So here's a little. Okay, Allison has to go. Thank you, Allison. Thanks for stopping by. So we'll be back after these words, everybody. I might as well share sound so you guys can hear it right now. And here we go.
Had enough of 2020? Well, now you can get the Nightmare Highway. Nightmare Highway. Coco Fest Edition digital copy for $1 off until the end of the year.
But this edition never appeared at Coco Fest.
$1 off.
Wasn't the original version free?
$1 off.
What the hell
Haven't you been pushing this trash for over a year now?
$1 off.
Is somebody screen
Get
sharing?
it at kenscococorner.itch.io. Remember, you've still paid too much.
Why is my screen all screwed up here?
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Fletcher, I don't need that report tomorrow.
Great, JT.
I need it tonight.
But JT...
Fletcher saved $300 on her office away from the office. Radio Shack's revolutionary Model 100 computer. It's a word processor, phone directory, and dialer. It even communicates with the office computer.
Fletcher, how's that report? Fletcher.
Radio Shack's Model 100. Save $300 and put it to work.
You'll go far, Fletcher. You'll go far.
And now, Coco Thoughts by Samuel Gimes. On holidays, Uncle JT would entertain us with stories of his business conquests and his assistant who would meet any deadline that he imposed, no matter how ridiculous. Well, until she shot him in the face, that is.
Hi, this is the award-winning Alan Huffman of Subby the Software, and you're watching Stevie Fall Off Cliffs.
What's going on, guys? Stevie Stroh here, and I want to say thank you so much for being part of this adventure with us. It's been such a great experience in doing CoCoTALK every week, and the support we get is just amazing. And so the fact that you watch and listen is all the reward that we need. However, if you would like to become a patron of the show and offer some financial assistance towards the production and hosting costs of the show, we do have a Patreon site available for that, and you can reach that by going to our website at CoCoTalk.live and clicking on the Patreon link. But just do us a favor and watch and listen to the show.
Hey there, I'm Marco Rolzer, and you're watching CoCoTALK.
This is not the Joey cereal switch. This is the Joey cereal switch. Control up to 3 cereal devices. Order yours today at cocoman.biz.
Radio Shack, America's technology store.
Right! This Christmas, Tandy has a very special offer. A family color computer pack to take away at a very special price. This family computer comes complete with software and costs an incredible $449, a saving of $241.69. It's powerful, educational, and ideal for the young and young at heart. The easy way to start computing. The Color Computer Family Pack from Tandy. Get it while it's hot. Tandy, the biggest electronics store in Australia.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Tim. Playing Dagger like that idiot from the book. You're watching CoCoTALK.
From around the world, what you need to know. Get caught up on News with L. Curtis Boyle.
And now a Muppet News Flash.
And this week it is the French correspondent, Lay Curtis Boyle, bringing us the news.
It is an honor.
Merci, Lay Curtis.
I will share my screen, no?
Oui.
We have already talked about the newsletter being
We can talk about it again. It's kind of like Nick Marotta. You know, when it's something that I'm involved with, I can't hear it quite as often as it should be. But yeah, we did drop the latest issue of the CoCo 123 newsletter, which you can download from the Glenside Color Computer website, glensideccc.com. We also posted a link on the mailing list. If you're subscribed to us via Tandy List, you got an email blast on that. It's been shared out on Facebook. It is a PDF digital publication. What I will say about it is a couple of things. Number one, we had a great team working on it. So this was not just Steve doing whatever half-assed thing he could do at the last minute to throw some shite up on the wall and see if it stuck. We worked on this actively and proactively, and we got a lot of content, a lot of great submissions. Alan Murphy and Rick Yulin submitted. We had a submission from Salvador Garcia. We had a submission from Tim Lindner. Rick, thank you, you're too kind. Rick, what the hell's his last name? There we go, Adams. I'm drawing a freaking brain fart right now. So we talked about this and on the show where Rick found a bunch of stuff in his basement. Well, he gave me really good, clean scans of all that. So we've got some pretty detailed pictures of a lot of the CoCo history that Rick Adams did. So that's just some of the contributions. And then I went ahead and went through and did a year-end review in news, and it's surprising how much stuff has happened on the CoCo, the Dragon, and the MC10. So there's a lot of news in the newsletter, which we were kind of called out on last time, saying, well, there wasn't really a lot of news in this newsletter, and that's because it was behind schedule and everything else and kind of rushed out. So I kind of made up for that this time around, and so I want to thank everybody who helped me work on it. But I do want to say that if you're a fan of the CoCo, you're going to like it. But I also think this is something where somebody who's maybe from another community, somebody from the Apple community or Atari community, they might look at this and say, what the hell have these CoCo people been smoking this year? Because they are doing some cool stuff. Whatever they're drinking, I want a glass. So I think this is going to hopefully inspire some people to maybe submit more content in the future, which we'd love because we've been getting great contributions. And hopefully it'll give people appreciation for just how much activity has been going on in our crazy little community these past 12 months. So I want to thank everybody who's been awesome all year, and I want to thank everybody who helped put this together. And I really say, guys, check it out. Give us feedback and give us content, contributions, submissions. We want to have them. We want the newsletter to be bigger and betterer all the time. So that's it on that.
Great. Thank you, Stevie.
Thank you. You too, Cat.
Thank you. Sheldon McDonald, and I've watched a little bit of his videos. He's been doing some cool making assembly easier and making shortcuts for people to be able to program faster. He posted a second update to his editing tool. So I'll start playing, which with functions, he added error trapping and some help on function libraries. And you can
basic has
you can find out more.
Even though it's kind of not necessary, where I'm saving it is.
So we won't go through the whole thing, but he shows you how to launch your code in VCC.
Code I had.
And all sorts of tips and tricks. So be sure to check out Sheldon McDonald. Okay, the Amigos had their ICC meeting at the end of CoCoTALK last week, and both Nick Marentes and L. Curtis Boyle, my Spanish cousin, did presentations, as did many others, covering the Amiga, C64, Atari 8-bit, and other computers. You can watch the whole 4-hour show at this link that Frodo is posting, or you can skip ahead if you really want to see Nick Marentes. If you have to see Nick Marentes, you can go to...
And why anybody would is beyond me, but...
Why? Other than his trash cans, I'm not a fan. Let's see if I can get to the precise moments that Nick... Let's see.
For the color computer. I normally just program games, but every now and then I like to dabble a little bit on the hardware. So I don't know how familiar people are who are on the show here about the Coco, but I made a bit of a video that's sort of because I'm a bad talker, so I figured I'd make a video that would explain it, introduce it, and introduce the problem I was trying to solve.
Okay, so I think he's going to talk about the video that he showed on CoCoTALK, as you can see, with the MP3 player and Gunstar, etc. So, and I think you can pretty much guess what Curtis is going to talk about.
RS-DOS?
So if you want to check that out, some of it will be a rehash of things you saw on CoCoTALK, but it looks like a good show, and it's great to see the Tandy Color computer being included with these other inferior machines.
Yeah, and honestly, this is something that I was hoping we could evolve this show into an offshoot where we talk about more than just a Coco and talk about other systems. And I just, since we need to get more people who are more familiar with those systems to add some discussions in there. But I would love to do more retro talk shows where we're covering a lot of different systems, because I like learning about things that I don't have or use and seeing what, I'd love to know what's going on the Atari 8-bit and this and that and the other. So I've wanted to do a show like this, but I haven't been able to pull it together. But since we've gotten a lot more viewership from around the world lately, maybe we can revisit doing a concept I had that was called Retro Talk, where we talk about all kinds of retro systems, not just a Coco. This is a great idea, and I like that we have this kind of meeting, this kind of United Nations of vintage systems all coming together. It's very cool.
I am going to have to go back and watch this to see everybody's minds explode when Curtis is showing them all this multitasking.
Or their eyes glazing over and they start nodding
or
off.
Their
or
eyes
something.
Glazing over.
And you can spot right here where the coma started.
Hey, you can't do that on a 6502. That's all I'm saying. So that's
cool
the
stuff.
International Computer Club.
Good job. And I gave those guys a shout out in the newsletter too.
Siren Anscombe has put together a first draft of his VDHL. I remember I had that once in college, VDHL, but it cleared up pretty quickly.
There's an ointment for that.
Yeah. Implementation of the glue logic for using the 6847 chip in a Dragon 64. He would like some people to test it.
This is where I'm a little bit lost. Did the Dragon 64 not use the VDG? Did it use something else?
I don't know if there's 60 out there that can comment on this, or anyone else has any information.
I thought all of the Cocos and Dragons used that 6847 VDG, so I'm a little bit...
I thought they did too, because it was just basically the Coco and the Dragon was a variation of the
glue
Motorola
logic
spec.
is the part that glues it in. So yes, you use the 6847, but you have other support that's required to actually take advantage of it.
So would this be sort of our SAM chip then?
Parts like the SAM chip.
Okay. So Dragon 64 PAL logic. Okay. So this is specific to the Dragon, not necessarily to like Coco emulations of using the stock VDG or anything. That's where I'm a little bit fuzzy on this, just because I don't understand the hardware that well.
Maybe Siren or Sixie can come on the show and talk about it in a future episode.
PAL logic. Okay. So glue logic is a generic term they use for support chips that make chip A talk to chip B, like the middle circuitry, the tweener stuff.
Right.
Okay, I understand that much. Okay, so apparently there's some tweener tech in the Dragon 64 that's got experimental support going on right now.
And find out more on GitLab, where Siren Anscombe has a page there.
Very cool.
Moving on, Paul Fiscarelli, our friend Paul, put up a demo of his new utility for the Grease Weasel. David Ladd.
Grease Weasel.
Oh, my Grease Weasel's ready to go. Ooh.
To allow backing up copy-protected Coco discs that you own, and then exporting the raw flux copies of those files to run in emulators, and eventually to SDF to work on the Coco SDC.
Get the flux out of here.
he demonstrates on a
Yes, I watched that
Daikon.
video. I watched the whole thing. It's like 9 minutes long, but I was on the edge of my seat the whole time.
I did watch it.
Now, is this a water soluble or a no clean flux?
Ooh, this is like pornography for David Ladd.
Yeah. That's a topless Flappy.
Topless Flappy.
Baby, keep going.
Ooh.
Look, David, they're showing her sectors.
Ooh, show us those sectors. Ooh.
Wow. Medieval Madness.
Which is a DICOM. The DICOM stuff were heavily copy protected.
Yes.
And this is cool. See, this is the stuff that I can start to understand when I can see it. You know, it's hard for me to grasp abstract concepts, but if you can make something slightly visual, it's definitely easier for me to grasp it. And the fact that he's got kind of this hex view of the content of what's in this floppy image that he just captured is pretty cool.
And this can protect your game without you having to constantly spin it in your disk drive.
Yeah, yeah.
If we want to take a look at the directory listing, what I can do is go to
Directory listing.
Oh, okay. So Evan Mooney is pointing out that what the Karen thing was that the Dragon had some extra scan lines that NTSC doesn't need because PAL is 625 scan lines. So that's what some of that glue logic must have been, was to PAL compensate for an NTSC chip, possibly.
Right. Because NTSC would only have 525 lines.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Thank you. Pardon my ignorance, but thanks for clearing that up, Evan.
Thank you, Evan.
Yes, my ignorance amuses me.
We talked about Paul Fiscarelli and his grease weasel.
Yeah, it's a cool video. It really is. And for me, being non-technical, I really appreciated this. So for those of you who are into the bits and all that kind of stuff and the nuts and bolts and stuff, this is very good. Paul does a good job on presenting things where even an idiot like me can follow. So
now, Curtis Boyle, my Spanish cousin, combined the two names in these two notes and called this next person Paul Simon.
Paul Simon Jonason.
So Paul Simon Jonason is porting the part of his last Coco 3 demo, the spinning bouncing donut, as you can see there.
Okay, and then Sixie just chimed in too. He says, yes, the VDHL just describes the extra stuff a Dragon needs to make up a PAL signal, etc. Okay, thank you,
Okay,
Sixie.
there must be a delay from across the pond here.
Yeah.
But it's good. Thank you, Sixie. And let's see if there's any sound. No? And
yeah, that was on his Coco 3 demo from Coco Fest from before.
Oh, and he's porting it to the Coco.
He's porting it to the Coco too. Yeah, very cool. It looks shinier. It looks more rainbowy. Like on the Coco 3, it was just like kind of like a steel blue grayscale shades of just different shades of the same color. But this almost has a rainbow effect since the Coco 2 doesn't really have gradients and palette shades.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that it only has these 4 colors makes it kind of a rainbow, almost like the thermal map you see like when you watch The Predator and stuff. Kind of looks like that. Yeah,
it's the
cool.
Paul Simon thing.
The Paul Simon.
Steve Norton says, donuts.
That's cool.
Simon's
always up to something.
Always up to trouble. Next up, Aaron Newcomb has a new video on adding HDMI output to a Coco 1 or other machines like an Apple II. Who cares about those?
Is that like a sewing machine back there? Are those like spools of thread?
I don't know what he's got going on.
That's wire. I'm being silly.
But
the well-dressed Finch.
Which converts the digital RGB signals that come out of, let's say, a CGA signal or an EGA signal, or even a monochrome digital signal out of the back of a computer, and it takes those and converts those through the use of this CPLD to be able to...
CPLD. Is there any TTL in that CPLD?
Yeah. He lost me at CPLD. But anyway, you can see more. Let's see if there's any
Yeah, if you go all the way to about the last 10 minutes, he has video where he's tweaking it there. Yeah.
Ooh.
I don't know if you can see those off to the
He's
side.
tweaking.
Do a
Yeah, this is where he's tweaking it because he has some. You can see along the right-hand side of his
Little bit of
screen there. There's that
waviness,
little
yeah.
fluctuation there. Yeah,
Yeah.
and there's this thing has a menu-driven. You can go in and change different settings.
Oh,
and
yeah, look at that.
And he goes in and compensates for that.
Can we do that to the show? Can we compensate for the fluctuation of quality in this program?
No. Stevie, I have a feeling you're trying to compensate for something.
Let's go ahead and change this.
I don't know what the cost is for the parts though, but this is a really interesting project though that he does to because it can be used in basically in any CoCo.
No, this is cool. This is a fairly higher than average tech solution for getting a display out. I came across a post on Facebook this morning where somebody's like, hey, I just got a CoCo 2. I didn't realize I have nothing to hook it up to. How do I get it on my TV? And there's like all these really, well, you can buy this composite mod and you can do this and you can do this diagram here and build a windmill. And I'm like, you could just do a freaking coax with an, F-type to RCA connector and boom, you're done. So sometimes we have a tendency to want to over-engineer a simple solution because we can and we have, but...
CoCoVGA.com.
Yeah,
there you
right?
go.
So
that's all you need to know. Okay. Aaron, he has an update in this forum, and this is he's showing how you can get artifact colors, like fake artifact colors, which is redundant, but
Oh, that would be like Farticat colors.
for Fart Attack.
Okay, well, yeah, they look a little bit highly saturated, but they're there. They're like the blue looks a little brighter and stuff, but that's pretty cool.
All right, thank you, Aaron Newcomb. Always doing stuff. We've got our
Alan
friend from
Huffman.
always has his towel from the sub Etha. Alan Huffman posted part 2 of his blog article about benchmarking the CoCo keyboard. And William Astle has a great explanation comment already posted to it. So let's see, what did William say?
Something profound.
Something profound. I don't know what they're talking about, so I'm just gonna move.
He's saying that the key buff thing is actually much more straightforward than it looks. It's basically holds the result of the reading FF00. Come on, Curtis, you should know this, right? Everybody knows that it holds the result of the reading FF00 from each keyboard.
I would have to translate the page, you see.
Le FF le 00. Right? So.
Doesn't everybody know that?
well, actually, yeah.
Technically.
Technically.
Doesn't everyone know that?
This is obviously why the unupgraded MPI smashes on top of it.
Oh, obviously.
So if you want to learn about buffers and pokes and all sorts of stuff.
What about floor buffers?
Make sure to go to Alan Huffman's page.
Very cool. Alan is, when I was compiling the news, Alan had a busy year. Alan was a very busy boy this year.
He was very busy in the community.
Yeah.
Robert Sieg, who has also been very busy.
Yes, he has.
Posted a directory viewer and launcher to use with the MCX32 upgrade for the MC10 and is looking for feedback. Currently, it is posted in the Facebook MC10 group.
Yes.
I would like to provide some feedback.
Go ahead. Yes, sir. Oh, there you go. All right. Good stuff. Yeah, actually, I think I'm going to buy one of these just because I can. Right? I've got the MCX 128 that I think I've used once. I've got 2 MC10s that I'll hardly ever use, but this thing exists, so I must own one. And then I think I will probably play with the whole SD card thing. So this is kind of cool, a utility for viewing what's on the disk of the SD card. So the cool thing about this one is you can actually save straight to the SD card without having to create a virtual floppy and mount a virtual floppy. So you're saving straight to the raw disk through the thing. So now you need to have a way to kind of manage that disk, right? So, or view that disk and whatnot.
That's right.
Cool stuff.
Cool stuff from Robert Sieg.
Robert Sieg, when he's not busy making all kinds of cool image conversions and 256 color modes and stuff.
That's right. He proved there is a 256 color mode.
Absolutely.
And it looks terrible. There's a reason why nobody has used it, but he's done some great work there. So Antonio Carlos Jimenez Eli of SD-Pack fame has put up more pictures of SD card game labels in the Coco group.
So I see a slight difference here. On the left, the Monster Maze looks like the ROM pack label because you can see kind of the cover art and then the spine label there. But then the subsequent one for Project Nebula looks like that's just the book from the ROM pack for the image here. But they look cool. You don't have a lot of real estate on the surface of an SD card, so you got the very postage stamp size space to make something snap out at you, and he's doing a really good job with that. If you go to the website, he's kind of created a sort of a template that you can use. I think he even set it up using like Windows Paint, so you don't need a lot of fancy software to do lay out the artwork, and then just use like an Avery template to print out labels, stick them on an SD card. But it's kind of cool. I like the whole idea. It's cool stuff. And if you want to set it up, I think he had mentioned too, he had updated on Facebook posts where he had found a source for about a 64 megabyte realize that SD card that he could get for about 99 cents, but he'd have to buy like a lot of 500 of them. So it was I think he was looking for people how many people want to buy some $1 cards, but I need, we got to kind of pull in to get this. I think the first batch he found were like 16 megabytes for 99 cents. Now he's getting a 64 megabyte. As far as the Coco is concerned, that's a lot, especially when the idea of this project is to make like a ROM pack where you just have one disk image auto boot to one program off of the thing. So for $1, it's a small price to pay to have like a ROM pack that auto boots, Cool stuff. And obviously you could use your own artwork, use custom artwork, do whatever you want, and make some cool labels.
You could buy the 1.24 gigawatt packs from eBay that are actually like 128K each and put real ROM packs on each one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, with today's rising entertainment costs,
that's a real bargain. Yes.
That's true. Well,
it's a neat project. I'm not sure everybody fully grasps it. I'm not sure how many people who do grasp it will appreciate it, but it's something you can do, and it's neat. What this really is helpful for if somebody wants to, like what Paul Thayer did when he released Timberman on physical media. If you want to release something that you can, package it like this is kind of cool,
Absolutely. All right. In the spirit of the holiday, you can see some more SD packs here. Here you go, 7-card stud.
Does anybody know the mythology behind 7-card stud? Is this supposed to be like a truly rare cartridge? Brian Weasler, you would know, you're a collector. Is this hard to find to get the whole package on this? Because I've seen some like these things listed for like $700 and stuff, insane prices.
Yeah, it doesn't come up very often. Very rarely. The cheapest one I think I've seen is $75.
Okay.
I mean, every once in a while I think somebody scoops one up for less than that, but it definitely is not a very common one that comes up very often at all. So
wasn't a big seller.
No. Is that just because it was? Is this one that's truly rare? Like there was not a large run from Tandy, and there's just not that many.
That's my guess.
Ones in the wild.
Yeah, that I don't know, but but it's not uncommon to see listings for 300 or up. For
yeah,
this one.
It's just weird. Like this one, and now was this one in a blister pack too, where it had like the full size 8.11 by manual and the clear plastic case that held it in there?
The ones I've seen have been the gray box.
Oh, it's still in this normal gray box. Okay.
But this looks like a home drawn. You would expect this to be in a Ziploc baggie at a Coco Fest.
Yeah, but I think I think this is the actual label from Tandy, though.
Right. And it's very underproduced.
Okay.
All right.
Rick Ulan has spoken.
Jerry Stratton has posted a picture of a snowman drawn on a Coco 1-2. He's used a program by Aaron W. Brannigan from the December 1986 issue of Rainbow. So using a Rainbow magazine, I guess it's a basic program to draw a holiday picture.
Yeah, I wish I would have saw that sooner. That would be perfect to put in the newsletter. Some actual real Coco art.
Yeah,
like
count the colors on the screen.
There is black, there's red, there's blue, there's white. That's 4. Am I missing anything?
2 artifacts and you're good. Yeah.
There's yellows,
What do
there's
you want?
oranges, there's pinkish purples.
Dither artifacts.
Yeah.
Okay.
Some dithering.
Cool.
Andy gave you colors. There you go.
And here's some more.
There's another one from very unifying message.
Yes.
From Jerry, bringing the Gentiles and Jews together.
Whichever fictional character you follow, we've got a symbol for you.
Now,
awesome.
Stevie,
Yes.
we were doing so well. Almost no complaints until now. Terry Steggy.
Terry
Steggy.
Vice President.
Our own
Computer
Terry.
Club.
Mr. Vice President has posted a pic of a rare early Coco disc controller that was made in Australia called Rainbow Bits.
Crikey.
Nick Marentes had one back in the day and could talk about it. Well, he's not the one show this year he's missed. He's not here to talk about it.
He's opening up a new Swiss bank account with all this cash flow.
All that cheese.
Yeah.
Fits in a ROM pack. I'm in admiration.
In his comments there, he talks about
The whole
how
thing?
it was a lower cost solution than Tandy's controller.
Okay, so here we go. It was his original disc controller back in the mid '80s. Nobody could afford a Tandy system. Fits in a ROM case. And then Chris Burke of Burke and Burke chimed in. There were some Australian vendors that I used to work with when I was selling hard drive systems. I've never seen this controller before, though.
What is the thing on the end there? Is that where like on the left-hand side, what is that?
I think that's just a shadow.
Okay.
Yeah, because he copy and pasted. Actually, out on the eBay posting itself, where Terry, where he bought this, along the bottom there of the label, you can actually see there's a connector that pops out from the top and the bottoms. So, like a regular edge card connector that we.
What chip would have been in here? Would this be based on like a Western Digital type chip or something else?
I don't know. Might have been a custom one, maybe.
Okay, and I would imagine it would have had to have its own ROM too, then, because you need some extensions for BASIC to control the floppy, right?
Hopefully, Terry will do a show and tell or a write up on it.
Okay, that'd be cool for the newsletter, maybe. Yeah.
To squint, you really could put a shorty controller in a ROM pack case. So yeah, that might be normal stuff. Just well done.
Yeah, neat.
All right. Thank you, Terry.
Thank you,
Greg
Curtis.
Le Curtis Boyle. Greg Ferguson managed to re-ink his old DMP 105 line printer and actually got it printing properly from his Coco 3. In the comments, he also shows the ink that he used. And some of it is sideways, so can't really do anything about that. So turn your head,
Well,
everybody.
Nick Marentes won't have to turn as far as us. Yeah.
Actually, I think it's equidistant from down under.
Okay.
But
Just have
there
to
you
turn
can
a
see
different
that it's
direction.
working.
Well, the ink on that screen,
That's
look
right.
how dark it is on the screen there. That's really good ink.
That's that new e-ink I've been hearing about.
So what?
let's see
Drill into Let's see what Bates. No relation to the motel. This is Black 43 numbering machine ink, not numbing.
Numbering machine ink.
Numbering machining. 1 ounce, le ounce, un ounce, le un ounce, le ounce.
Easy for you to say.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
Now, what's the process?
So
Does he
you
explain
can-
what he does? Does he somehow like swipe it across or
there's no
something?
video.
I mean, inquiring minds want to know, what is he actually doing to put the ink on the ribbon?
Right, because there's like
Pour-
50 yards of
pour-
ink crammed in that little bitty cartridge the size of that bottle. How does he get ink on all of it?
You're soaking in it.
So, Greg Ferguson, come on the show and tell us how you did it.
Was there any mention in the scroll up to the top when he first posted in the actual description? Okay.
Nope.
Finally, successfully poke whatever. Nice seeing it getting it working, because he doesn't really say what he did, but this is what he used. So it would be interesting to know what the actual process was to physically rejuvenate the whole surface of that ribbon.
Please help us, Greg. I could see this going horribly wrong.
Okay, but that's cool for those who need to know that there is hope out there for those who need it.
Yeah, and how did he manage to keep the desk clean?
Yeah, right.
And Guillaume, what would we do without him?
Yes.
And the Color Computer
Now, where
Archive?
was this write-up? Did he write this up in Facebook? Yes.
He wrote it up on the Facebook.
Okay, this is what I was
Please
missing.
get him the vaccine before anyone else.
Yeah.
We need him.
Yes,
But,
I added this to the newsletter, but I didn't know what the specifics were, and I tried finding them on the Color Computer Archive, and I couldn't. Here's the details on the updates to the latest SDC Explorer. Repeating keys.
That's right. New
Saves and
features
restores
include
last sessions. Added a splash screen while loading SDCX, which is what Ron Delvaux was doing in his own way before with his like startup screens and stuff, right? Added the ability to launch a program by pressing enter on disks with only one file. Instead of having to mount the disk and then highlight the file and then run the file, it's an auto one mount. That's good. Added shift clear to return to root. Honors the backspace. You could probably read it better than me because I'm seeing a shrunken version of yours, like Curtis.
Sorry. Shift clear to return to the root of the SD card. That's going to be handy. A child directory selected when changing to a parent directory. It honors the backspace character in the directory listing window. I think it used to put a arrow in place of that. I'm not sure what that is. Lower the maximum number of files in a directory to 400 due to memory constraints. Rename the Dragon version to Dragon SDC Explorer, so the Dragon people don't get confused.
All right.
Enhance the about screen, bug fixes. The list goes on and on. Thank you, Erico, for
the logo. Okay, that looks semi-graphicsy, huh? Okay. Yeah, that is cool. That is very cool. All right, I was looking for some details, and I apologize. At least I got it in there that had been updated, but I didn't have a lot of facts to go along with that.
What version are we up to now?
This is 1.10.
Oh, geez. You know what? I'm still at 0.4. I really need to upgrade.
How have you been able to survive all this time?
I don't know.
Who are these people?
It just keeps getting better.
That is cool. A splash screen is cool. And again, getting back to like with the whole SD pack thing, that we got all kinds of stuff that you can do to spice up your SD cards, inside and out.
Splash screen. Is this like something you'd see at a Gallagher show?
Yeah. Good stuff.
Drink every time you hear Gallagher reference.
Oh yeah,
folks.
You're gonna be awfully thirsty.
Todd Gilbert posted a video from 1983 talking about the home computer revolution. Am I on the right?
You're on Andy Fox.
I'm on Andy Fox.
The home computer revolution will not be televised.
We'll come back.
Gallagher.
Tell you what, we'll come back to Todd Gilbert because I have him out of order. So let's go to Andy Fox. Posted photos of some of his original Dragon Data game adverts in the Dragon Facebook.
Okay.
And you can see some cool
How
posters.
big are these? Are these like poster size? It's looking like it might be.
That they are.
It's amazing what the Dragon folk could do with the 4 colors on that VDG. I mean, look how vibrant these posters are. So
I believe that's
amazing.
There's got to be at least 6 colors in there. Easily.
PAL artifacting.
Yeah.
Look at that. Look at those screenshots.
They are. I mean, it is a work of art. It's kind of like album covers, you know. It's nice when you have a really good piece of art to go along with another piece of entertainment, you know.
Those extra scan lines.
Yeah. The UFOs. Starship Chameleon. Wow.
Wow. Look at that.
That is cool.
Cosmic Invaders.
Neat. That is kind of cool, man, when you think about it.
Thank
Can't think
you.
of too many Tandy game covers that were so good that you'd want to have them, you know, bigger than a mouse pad. Honestly, I can't think of putting a big old thing on my wall of a Tandy game cover because they just weren't that artsy. You know, these are like
Maybe
paintings.
they looked.
I don't know, man. Color script set.
Telewriter 64. Jerry Young
Pitfall
posted
Jerry.
You know Jerry?
He's done some live streams by the name of Pitfall Jerry.
Yes.
Yeah.
Jerry Young posted a Christmas program for the MC10 with a low-res picture of Santa and a Christmas
I
star.
believe, like Curtis, you're not used to us Americans, but I believe this is the MiG-10.
The MiG-10.
The MiG-10.
Le MiG-10.
Yeah, the MiG-10. Yeah, it's kind of like the
Does that have
McNugget.
the special sauce?
The McNugget, and the McRib. It's the MiG-10. So.
But actually, the MC10 does have a French version.
Yeah, Le Alice.
Le Alice.
Oui.
He has a video running of it as well. Did I put that in?
Didn't I say at the top of the show to stop interrupting things?
Well, that was when we had a special guest.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What we do? We
There's
have
no-
Leigh Curtis. Leigh Curtis is special.
Oh, he's not that special.
No. Okay, here we go. This is oh.
Kind of looks like Eddie Munster when he became a werewolf. Good old Santa and his beard.
There you go. And thank you, Tandy and Dragon, for saving 75 cents on that sound chip.
Oh, yeah. Monkey claws, Ken calls it. Monkey claws.
Monkey
Monkey claws.
He didn't say ho ho ho. He says ho ho ho, ho.
And he throws poo at you.
That's what he brings all the naughty children.
Oh.
YouTuber Connecticut Traveler, put up a short video of an animated oil lamp done on a CoCo2. Let's watch.
We have a request. Nobody know if this was a bong. No, it's a lamp, Ken. Where's your brain at?
That is not a lamp. What kind of...
It is. It's an oil lamp. You can
Oil
see it.
lamp, yeah.
Yeah, it's the old-fashioned oil
I
lamp,
know.
sir.
It's an oil lamp for tobacco use only.
Yes,
For
it's-
tobacco use.
Yes. Someone knows.
See,
some
tobacco
refer
water.
to this as a water pipe. Yes.
Well,
We're going downhill fast, folks. We're
We're-
sorry. We're sorry. Hey,
we
Nimble.
apologize to Connecticut
No,
Traveler.
you're not, Stevie.
I think
it's
we've
a
lost
cool,
the
it's
brakes.
a cool demo. It's a good Bunsen burner.
All right, thank you, Connecticut Traveler. And not last, because we're going to loop back to Todd Gilbert, but we have Henry Reitfeld mentioned on the Coco list about the Maxduino Ultimate that allows loading of CAS cassette files for both the Coco and the Dragon.
Okay.
So if
Is
you
this
wanted
kind of like,
to-
what's the floppy emulator thing called? GoTech? Is this kind of like a GoTech for tape?
Sure.
I think that would be the Go tape.
The GoTape. Yes. Okay.
Yeah, that sounds
So,
really cool, though.
You know, again, if you want more products and the Coco SDC does not work for you, you have choices. And you want to load things by cassette. Not my not a nostalgia that I have. But
I think it has a lot to do with the Dragon, that the disk drive was very expensive, and a lot of people didn't have them, so most of the software was on
What
cassette,
I mean,
so
what I
something
think
like
would
that
be kind
more
of
useful.
cool would be, because one of the neat things about tape was that when you loaded a tape, it usually loaded up a title screen for you, like a loader screen. I remember Madness and the Minotaur and a few ones like that. So that was kind of cool to see the screen kind of painted across as the tape was loading, and at least it gave you something to look at while you were waiting. So
Would that be one of those splash screens we were talking
could be
about
one of those-
earlier?
yeah, it could be, but it didn't really. It was a very slow splash. Yes, it was a trickle screen. So,
I do have a bunch of old tapes I would like to record some way. This looks like something I might want.
This might be for you.
This is like the grease wheel of tapes.
And it's only £40.99, which I think is about
Well, that seems kind of heavy for shipping.
That's about $40 nowadays.
40 pounds 99.
40 pounds. That's going to cost a lot to ship, man.
Yeah, it's okay. It's like metric pounds.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
And last but not least, we have Tim Gilbert. Sorry, it says Todd Gilbert on Curtis's notes, but his name's
Canadian.
Tim. Sorry, Tim.
Forgive him. Actually, he's Spanish. Sorry, it's L. Curtis Boyle.
So Tim Gilbert's boy, Curtis is my cousin, posted a video from 1983 talking about the home computer revolution in the Dragon group, and the Dragon 32 makes an appearance at 5 minutes and 10 seconds in. Let's watch.
Involve nearly every household in the land one way or another. The personal computer boom is
personal
now in full
computer
swing.
Personal
It
computer
seems as if
boom.
Every home must have one.
Every
Did you
home
know
must
that
have
1.5
one.
million homes already
BBC received.
Yes.
I believe
Did you
my
know
grandfather fought in the computer revolution.
Wow.
The Your Computer Christmas Fair, which opened today.
Yes, in York.
Is anything to go by? You'll be lucky if you get
Look
in
at
by
that.
the end of the week because
Look at that smock.
The revolution will be
there are
televised,
so many
folks.
youngsters, it's enough to make you feel bastard. And if you're anything like me and you're bewildered and frightened by
Did she just say she was plastered?
I thought she said she was a bastard.
Well,
She's
if you're anything
bewildered.
like her and you're bewildered and frightened by
I'm
computers.
bewildered and frightened by what she's wearing. What do you got on there,
Yeah,
girl?
well,
Come on.
Now she owns a jitterbug phone.
You know, many people have been bewildered and frightened by DriveWire, but next week, when
That's
it comes
right.
out on ease of use, you don't have to be.
That's right.
And let's go to 5 minutes and 10 seconds.
Oh, if you've got a bright idea, don't sell it cheaply. It could be worth a fortune. Now, a recent survey has shown that 13% of all
There
children
you go.
would like a computer this Christmas. Now, if every one of them got their wish,
Oh, it's Lunar Rover Patrol on the Dragon. Look at that.
this Christmas alone. This company, Dragon, has a factory down in Wales, which is operating 7 days a week, round the clock.
7 days a week. That's almost like all the time.
The factory's in a whale? Is that like Jonah?
Yes, they spent tens of minutes designing it.
It's a whale of a factory.
Well, I think it's a number of factors. One is that we've got some manufacturers who produce some very low-priced, keenly priced products, which are really
Let it go. Let it go. I want to see this.
You
This is
want
good.
what?
Yeah, I want to see this. Let it roll.
All right.
within their pocket. And the other thing, I think, is that a number of governments, successive governments, have actually made the right decisions about computer education. A lot of children now in schools are learning about computers, and of course it's that enthusiasm that they generate there that one can see here today.
Well, personally, I think the whole thing's getting out of hand.
It's getting out of hand, she thinks. Personally, I think the whole thing's getting out of hand.
It's only fitting that I should leave the last word to this friendly little piece
ZX.
of computer technology.
Yeah, and that's about as much typing as you'll ever do on one of those.
Right?
Oh no, it's a Dalek. It's a Dalek. Exterminate.
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 I don't love
dear
those
God.
Daleks.
She just pressed 2 buttons and that started the Dalek revolution. Oh my God.
I really think the reason you wanted this to run, Stevie, is you wanted to ensure that you would get a copyright strike on this episode. Since Samuel Gimes did not deliver a copyright strike.
Oh
this
my
week.
goodness. No, that was I love seeing those pieces where it really was. All this stuff was new. It's hard to imagine that we all lived through a time when this stuff had never really existed before, and this was new and frightening, and people didn't know how to deal with it. And you look at some of the commercials of the Nintendo craze. So that there's like on big ABC World News Tonight talking about this Nintendo and how it's just making kids crazy and all the fears that parents had and all kinds of stuff. It's really interesting how the general lay perception was of this emerging technology back then.
Early
That
commode.
version of Rally SG looked terrible.
Yeah, right?
Look at that Commodore.
Yeah.
Well, I got the ZX81 as a kit and had to build it myself. And it was so much better than the computer on a teletype that I had previously had experience to in high school, which took scheduling to actually get time on, that I thought it was a good computer.
That is really cool. I love, there's a version of Donkey Kong there. I'm not sure which version. That might be, that could be like the VIC-20 or something for all we know.
Some interesting hairstyles.
Yeah. No, that's cool. That is cool. I'm going to have to watch that.
And that
you know what
is how you say it?
That is, fiend, right? Fiend. Like at the end of a French film.
That is how you say the news.
Le news.
Back to you, Stevie.
Oui.
Fiend.
So there's a new series on Netflix now that is, showing everybody what the thing was like. So it's cool to see a modern thing talking about old stuff, but I'd rather watch the old things about the old stuff when people literally didn't have a clue, and it's like, oh my God, I am frightened and bewildered by this. It's like, really? Really?
And what is this series on Netflix called, Stevie?
Oh, I don't remember. It's something on that.
Oh.
Yeah. It's what does anybody know what that Netflix series is about the 80s video game culture? I don't know what it's called, but it's on there.
Catch Fire?
No. It's like a docu-series on the
I
video
think it's in my
games.
Netflix queue.
Yeah, it's in there. There's a name for it. Press Play or something like that. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's got like the Pac-Man and
Yeah. So it's
the
cool.
Pac-Man, yes.
Yeah, the Pac-Man. Which I like to listen to the hip hop while smoking the pot when I played the Pac-Man. So that's just me though.
Hey, that's an oil lamp.
That is an oil
For tobacco
lamp.
use only.
Well, that was news. I guess we can take a commercial break and then come back with project updates and acquisitions. Thank you, Frodo, for posting the link. Thank you to your Spanish cousin, L. Curtis Boyle, for gathering those news links for you, and Leigh Curtis Boyle, our French correspondent. Thank you for anchoring that for us. You are très magnifique. Do we have a request for a commercial break to run here? Because we do have a French correspondent, how about we got to do a CoCoTALK, right? We got to do CoCoTALK. Where is CoCoTALK?
Once a day.
I got to find it. CoCoTALk. All right, we'll be right back.
For your wee.
We'll be right back after CoCoTALk, everybody.
CoCoTALK will return after these messages.
CoCoTALK, c'est le coq champignon, des micros et dans le pion. Pour le jeu, il est pas batable, les études, c'est pas disable. L'expansion, il adore ça, les commandes, tu vas voir ça. Notre Coco est programmable, pour tes cours, c'est bien serviable. CoCoTALK de Radio Shack, ton affaire est dans le sac.
Un ordinateur couleur qui a de la personnalité. Le CoCo2 de Radio Shack. On solde pour Noël à partir de 149,95.
CoCoTALK de Radio Shack, ton affaire est dans le sac, c'est toi et CoCoTALK.
And now, Coco Thoughts by Samuel Gimes. If you're using your color computer in Quebec and it stops working, is it now a Coco won't do?
Hi, Ron Delvaux, Timberman, Coco Fest, CoCoTALK.
In a world where RGB produces black and white video, one cable can make a difference. Switcheroo. CoCo3ScartCable.com.
Hey, have you got your Coco 3 yet? Hi, this is Rick Adams, author of Temple of Ram and Shanghai, and you've tuned into CoCoTALK, the nation's leading live talk show featuring the Tandy color computer.
Get ready.
What's going on, everybody? Original Gamer Stevie Stroh here, and if you're a fan of vintage computing and retro gaming, then you're going to love our retro swag shop at 8bit256.com. There you will find custom designs by Instagram artist Joel M. Adams. You can get I'm a Coconut, CoCoTALK, and other cool video game images on a t-shirt, coffee mug, or mouse pad. So if you love retro, then head on over to the retro swag shop at 8bit256.com today. Tell them the Original Gamer Stevie Stroh sent you.
Radio Shack's store-wide manager's red tag sale is on now. We've slashed prices 20%, 30%, 40%, 50%. Save on famous Radio Shack hi-fi, car stereo, radios, toys, TV games, calculators, walkie-talkies, and CB radios. Look for the big red tag. Save like never before on these and literally hundreds of red tag specials. Hurry into Radio Shack today.
Hi, this is Randy Kindig of the Floppy Days podcast. I just love me some Coco, and nobody covers it better than Steve Strobridge. You're listening to CoCoTALK.
We're back, everybody, and we're sorry, but we're still on the air here on CoCoTALK. And it's time for everybody's favorite part of the show. That's where we wrap everything up. But this is a part that we like to call updates and acquisitions. This is where if somebody's been working on a project, we're going to tell you what we've been working on this week. If somebody got something like Brian Weasler, surprise, surprise, he wants to show us what, hey, look what I bought today. Oh, you guys are all jealous. Look what I have and you don't, right? So all that kind of stuff. This is where we do that. So we know, Brian, you have something, so why don't we lead with you? And you can show us what you want to show.
Okay. A guy that I had actually bought a cover from, I found out that he lived not too far away from me, about an hour or so, and so I reached out to him and asked him if he had other stuff that he might have that he just hasn't listed on eBay, and he goes, actually, I did have a box of Coco stuff, and so him and I set up a time. I drove up to his house and picked it up. In that box of stuff, was kind of a group, was this Coco 1 here with a Coco 2 keyboard in it. But it also had some different little mods on it. It had this port. I haven't quite figured out what everything does yet, but this actually is soldered on to the bottom of the keyboard connector. I don't know what this switch goes to yet, and another mod that was removed, but it even had a little LED on the front right there. And it also has a composite mod in it that actually is nearly not too bad. It's on a little circuit board that he has that was on there. So that was it was just kind of came with it. This wasn't my biggest interest with it though, but it was part of the whole group of stuff that was in there.
Now that on the side, is that a Becker port?
Did you count the pins? Is it a 25 pin? Because it could be serial, parallel. It could be SCSI.
Yeah, I need to. Yeah, I just need to look and see where it's going to. But it looks like it's a 25 pin that you'd have like on a for like a parallel for like a printer port. Also with the group of stuff was a silver multi-pack. So a little scuffed up there, but still in good working shape. He also had this floppy drive that was just sitting there in the box there. So
it's a floppy.
Dual heads.
Dual heads. There we go. Yes, it is. And no power cord though, but our favorite little friend.
Nice.
So, but it has a little. Little scuff of...
You just reminded me of something. So my wife found, and I'm not going to do the old MC10 doorstop joke, but you reminded me of doorstop. So my wife's like, 'cause she's been Christmas shopping, she goes, I saw this really cool doorstop, and it's wooden, and there's something on there. There's a name on there. Would you ever guess what this is called? And for the life of me, I couldn't. And you know, and it's not MC10. This is not a joke, but it's a wooden doorstop, and the name that's on there is Hodor. So for those of you who've watched Game of Thrones, you'll know what that means. But
Okay.
that was just funny. Like she found this doorstop with Hodor on the doorstop, and so yeah, I think we have to get one of those. So
there you go.
So no, I've said for years, MC10 is a fantastic machine. It's an incredible piece of equipment.
I didn't wear my waders today, Stevie.
Also in the group there was a a 3129 floppy disk controller.
Nice. Now, was this a
Also-
local thing, or did he have to mail them to you?
Local. I was about
Okay.
about an hour's drive away from
That's
here.
definitely worth the trip.
3022
Wow.
floppy disk. This would have been the original one, and then also a 501
Wow.
floppy disk
You
controller.
are just in
So-
floppy heaven, my friend.
And then the other thing, this is the one that actually kind of intrigued me. It had this case here, and it's kind of hard to see, but this label here is actually a hard disk specialist.
Okay. Hard disk specialist controller.
Yep, and it has a custom ROM in it. I'm going to put together a little video that I'll post out on YouTube and share it out to the group. I've been playing with this a little bit. There's a switch on the back. You can actually flip between regular RS-DOS or this custom ROM. And when you boot to this custom ROM...
Is that a turbo switch? Does it have turbo DOS?
Turbo.
Who put a toggle switch on something? They didn't ask me.
When you flip the switch and you turn it on, it actually boots to this menu that you can kick off different things. And one of the things that it will do is it'll load the driver for, and I have one of the 80 column word packs.
Okay.
It actually loads that, and it works. I'm a little setup behind me here. I had my Coco 2 running this, and then I had my second monitor plugged into the word pack, and so I had both screens up, the Coco 2 and the 80 column screen up on the other one. So it's kind of so I'm going to do a little video just kind of demonstrating this, so it might be kind of interesting.
You are pushing the limits of the 4-slot MPI at this point, my friend. You are breaking boundaries.
What's that smell?
And
We
then
need a 16 slot.
What's
and then
that?
a book that go ahead.
What's that?
We need a 16 slot.
Yeah.
A 16 slot. No,
Yeah.
don't get David Ladd started. I've had this book here for a while, the Top Down Basic. This is the paperback version.
Okay.
And I was kind of excited to stumble across this actual hardcover version of it, though. So that was kind of nice. I kind of enjoyed getting that one. And then lastly, the only thing I was going to show is
You
I've
know the reason why they have soft cover and hardcover books? It's for the level of discipline when you go to spank your children with them, right? So, you ever gotten your butt whipped with a book when you were a kid? You know?
A little more sting with that one.
That is it's Stevie Stroh's parenting tip for the week.
And then something I've been wanting to buy. I've missed a couple of them on eBay though, but it was one of the cassette storage things. So I've got a spot to start putting some of my cassettes in that I have. But I've been wanting to pick up one of these. I found this one here on the Facebook Marketplace. So it's kind of easy. I don't know if you can really see it. It has kind of the
it's kind of a smoke.
Yeah, it has Radio Shack right there. I'm not sure if I get
neat. So it's okay. Yep.
So it actually has the Radio Shack on it. So yeah. That's all I have to share today.
Oh, okay, cool. Thank you for sharing. Well, Sloopy Malibu has just joined us, and I think Sloopy, you mentioned you might have something to show and tell.
Yes. I've been working on this for about a month, as most of the people on the Coco Discord have seen. And basically what it is it's an internal mod for putting HDB DOS with drive wire internal to the machine and leaves the cartridge port open.
Sweet.
And
whenever you hear somebody say drive wire in the show, you got to do a shot. The drive wire drinking game. Did we lose you, Sloopy? You just went to picture. No, there you are.
Nope.
Okay, you switched. Okay.
Yeah, it seems to be smoother if I turn off, change camera, and then for some reason the OBS didn't want to start up today. So here's my Coco 3. I apologize for it being backwards.
No, it's not backwards to us.
Oh, well, it is to me. So
okay.
We open my Coco 3 and look inside. We have this nice little board here.
Okay,
and
so that board is going on top of where the normal ROM chips. So this is kind of like a daughter board.
Yes, it plugs into where the OS ROM goes.
Did that Coco have a single ROM chip? Was that the one that combined basic and extended basic? Because I know some had one, some had two.
Yes, this is a Coco 3.
Oh, it's a Coco 3. Okay, never mind. That's right. Never mind.
Yeah. Yeah, it's Coco 3, and basically what it does is it has a 27 512, which is a 512 kbit ROM, which is 64K bytes. It has a 22 V10 GAL, gate array logic, which is basically like an FPGA, which a lot of people are familiar with, but much smaller. Like the one that's
the multi-pack has a GAL chip.
Yeah, like the Coco Flash uses one, and this is equivalent to about 8 of these. Well, basically what this does is there's an enable disable switch here, and there's a select rotary switch here. And what it allows you to do is select between HDB DOS with drive wire for the Coco 3, HDB DOS with drive wire for the Coco 2, and YADOS, or YADOS. I'm not sure how they pronounce it.
YADOS, that's how I've heard it. Yeah. Or
that's what I've heard.
Or YADOS.
Yeah, because you can either do 4 different DOSes, or you can do 2 DOSes that are 8K and then a 16K DOS. So basically all it does is you turn it on, and I did not plug this in correctly.
Is it off right now as you're plugging and unplugging it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it is. The machine is off. No, it's not hot swappable.
Well, one time it is.
You've got the old-fashioned RAM on there, huh?
Yeah, that's what came with it.
Yeah.
Is that a disto or something? Oh, it's not upside down. What is it? PP. Okay.
Yeah, for some reason it's having performance anxiety.
Performance anxiety.
That's what you get for unplugging it online.
All right. Uh-oh. You didn't see any blue smoke come out of that thing when you plugged it back in, did you?
I think he just hot swapped it.
No.
So would this be similar, Sloopy, to like the Amiga people who have different kickstarts that they can switch to?
Yeah, probably.
Somewhat. The thing is that this allows you to have the HDB DOS ROM inside the machine and leaves your cartridge port open. So
it'll work as soon as we sign off.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, because when I was doing my video, I was making sure it worked so I could get it right.
Well, we see some, there's a couple of LEDs on there. Are those things supposed to light up when the thing comes to life?
Yeah. Make sure you got it plugged into the right.
It's definitely a pretty cool design, though. I know you've been talking about it, and I've been trying to follow you mentally as you've been talking about this. So I've been understanding the concept, but it's definitely cool to see the actual board now. And the idea here is that you can boot your Coco to a variety of different DOS environments.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And the good one is obviously if you can boot your Coco to be already DriveWire enabled, then you don't necessarily need a multi-pack or even an STC. You can just plug into your Bitbanger and start loading software over the wire, and that's a cool feature. I think the only downside to DriveWire is that certain programs that are trying to directly access the disk through the normal ROM calls won't work. But if it's a program that you just need to load and execute, that will definitely work.
Yeah, and like fully address decoded cartridges will work with it still enabled, like the Coco MIDI and such.
Okay.
And a lot of software has been patched for DriveWire.
This is the board as they come from the factory.
Okay. So you did a design and it did a run, huh?
Yeah, 3 from Osh Park. And if you can see that.
Mr. Day, this Thanks to Mr. Dave 609, Jim Brain, and the bottom line's out of focus.
Fine gentlemen of the Coco Discord.
Oh, okay. Well, who are those? I've never met any fine gentlemen on Coco Discord.
Is there a Coco Discord I don't know about?
Yes.
They all log out when you log in,
Is there a fine gentleman channel that I've been excluded from?
Is it like one of those gentlemen's clubs?
Yes.
Yeah, I was up until 7 o'clock this morning. I'd gotten up at 2 a.m. From 2 to 7. I was working on this because my USB to serial port was not working, as I saw Mr. Murphy this morning as I was finishing up. And for some reason, now this part's not working. So I don't know. It's just I think it's
that. What is the jumper wire going to? Is that what?
This?
Yeah.
That is for the line that enables the ROM in the cartridge port.
Okay.
It is. Give me 1 second.
So is that fooling the Coco into thinking this is coming through the cartridge port when it isn't?
Yes, that is correct. It actually thinks there's a disk controller on the cartridge port.
Okay.
So when you have the DOS the DOS loaded, it actually looks for disk drives on actual physical media that are not there, and it sits until it times out on them.
Right. And then the other added benefit to this is that if you had either a Coco SDC or a physical floppy controller, you could use that at the same time while you're using this. So you could then copy things from either disk images or real floppies over to a DriveWire server if you needed to, funnel files back and forth.
That really wouldn't work. I wouldn't recommend that.
No?
Yeah, because the thing is that the firmware for the disk drive is accessed both the same way on this as it is in the floppy drive and the Coco SDC. So it would create a conflict.
Oh, okay.
Right. This blue wire is the cart line running from his board.
Yeah, it's the CTS line.
But was this designed to let you have another cartridge while you're still running off a DriveWire, or is this just to bypass the cartridge port?
No,
this was allowing me to use fully addressed cartridges, like specifically the Coco MIDI in my case, and any other fully addressed cartridges like the modem pack and things like that, so that the cartridge port isn't taken up by some cartridge, so that I can get DriveWire, and so I don't have to load it through the
Right. Now here's a dumb question, but would can we theoretically boot OS 9 completely over DriveWire, even if it took a while? Is it doable?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So you could load OS 9, boot OS 9, and then be doing like MIDI Pro and all that kind of stuff.
Yes, as long as you can boot OS 9 on a regular DriveWire machine that has like a floppy controller with a DriveWire ROM in it, then you can use this.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
And Mikey is saying in the chat, the disk cart is not fully address decoded, so it has another copy of the ROM, so they will conflict.
Oh, yes. Okay, cool. But that's still pretty. I know you've been talking about this, and I've been trying to follow along with you mentally. It's a cool idea. Like, I like the fact that I can boot from my Coco SDC in the DriveWire, and I have played around with DriveWire, so I've put my toe in the water. And it's convenient to be able to do that in the Coco SDC, but this skips that. Now, another dumb question, because this isn't a Coco 3, so it already has extended basic ROM, but if somebody wanted to do this on a Coco 2, they would have to have extended basic, right? In order to take advantage of the disk.
It replaces the ROM, so...
Oh, is it replacing all of the ROM? It's replacing the extended basic and the disk ROM?
It replaces the ROM that's in the machine. As I said before, I just recently got a Coco 1 from Terry Steen's after Thanksgiving sale on eBay.
Yeah.
And I've been trying to get this one to work, and once this works, I'm going to try to get it working in a Coco 1 and 2 so that it will be able to be used in any of the 3 machines.
Okay. That's neat.
Any other questions?
Anyone?
Bueller.
Okay, well that's cool. Thanks for sharing that, Sloopy. I know that's
Very
been a
cool.
long time coming to get to the point where you could show us on the show. So very cool. Anybody else have an update? Anything they've been working on this week?
Actually, yes. So I've been I'm doing hardware on the side, and I needed a case for it. So I've drawn up a ROM pack case that is designed to hold the absolute largest circuit board that will fit in a ROM pack. Sort of clips in to a little spot,
Okay.
so it's the right height to plug in and so forth. Incidentally, I thought this was fun. Here's the 3D printed bottom, and here's a normal ROM pack top around here somewhere, and yeah, they fit together. So,
Okay. So you've made a generic bottom.
so it's a generic bottom that will hold the absolute largest circuit board that will go in a ROM pack.
Okay.
And I plan to do this for the shorty controller and the long controller as well, and put the STL somewhere as soon as someone tells me where would be a good place to put them, so people can print up cases for whatever random thing they want to do for a CoCo.
Oh, I'm sure someone will tell you where you need to stick it.
Yeah. But you know,
Put that in your
more
cartridge
models
slot
are good
and smoke
models.
it, right? So yeah. Now that's cool. How long does that take to print? It's only half of a cartridge. I've heard like 6 hour, 8 hour print
Yeah,
jobs.
6 hours for a ROM pack, so a long controller might run all day long.
Wow.
But if you need a case and you don't want to have to like Dremel tool all the bottoms off of a stock ROM pack to make your thing fit, and Dremel tool little things in the side, then this might be worth the wait. You know, it's a couple dollars a PLA and you're done.
That is cool. And this just in, but Sloopy Malibu has told us that he has got his thing working again. So Sloopy, do you want to show us what you're doing again now? Let me spotlight your video.
Sure.
Okay. So we are now in normal Deck B 2.1 HDB DOS with DriveWire 3, CoCo 3. So this is HDB DOS booting off of your doohickey.
Yes, it is. And unfortunately, because my drive wire is not working.
Everybody take a shot. We just said DriveWire.
So.
Yeah, that's neat.
And turn it off.
Turn it off. Flip a switch.
There it is for CoCo 2.
I can't see it. Okay, HDB DOS,
CoCo 2.
DriveWire, CoCo 2, CoCo Do, Ledoux.
Mikey's saying there's a newer
Oh,
version.
he's saying you've got an old
HDB.
version of it. There's a 1.4 or 1.5 available somewhere on HDB DOS.
Yeah, I was using the ROMs from the DriveWire for distribution. This is just more about to get the gal equations correct than it is anything else. Once it's actually finished, I don't know what's the legalities of the HDB DOS with DriveWire. Would I be able to include it in a final product, or would people have to source that themselves?
I don't know how to answer that question. I'm not a lawyer. I don't
know.
even play one on TV. So probably an offline discussion somewhere. I did get a good night's sleep at a Holiday Inn Express at least one time before. So, and I believe I've saved 15% more on my car insurance in the past. But
Or your pizza's free.
As you can see, the light on the
lights
lights up.
Oh yeah, see, that's there's your good. Now do these lights blink too? Because I like blinky lights.
Actually, the lights themselves are programmable. They're not tied to any one specific function.
Okay.
They were more put in for diagnostic, so that if I needed a thing to show what's going on, I could use the LEDs as a debugging tool. But
Here
I'm
comes
going
the feature creep.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
here comes the feature creep. It needs to be programmable. It needs to flash in sequence. We need to be able to have a basic command to switch it.
Well, for those who, if you, for those who want a real-time clock, if, what you could have in binaries, you can have it count the time off and just...
There's the real-time clock.
Pulse
Thank
off
you.
the time and everything, so...
No real-time clocks.
Okay.
I prefer socks. It's too cold for real-time clocks.
There you go.
But yeah,
it needs to Morse code the entire contents of RAM.
That's it.
Also, one question that I commonly get is the rotary switch for selecting the DOS and such, and the enable disable. Although this is actually soldered onto the board, which would be kind of difficult to change when it's in the machine. When and if I do a final release, I will actually have this and this on a daughter board that you'll be able to mount either externally facing or outside of the machine, so that you'll be able to change the enable disable on the DOS. This board doesn't fit very well because I had to move this. If you can see this capacitor,
yeah,
I had to move this capacitor, and it actually on the underside it actually touches the keyboard when it's installed.
Could I request a custom version that uses like a twister spinner where I could just flick it with my finger and it spins around and whatever arrow lands on, that's what DOS I boot into?
Wheel of DOS.
The wheel of DOS.
Problem is you'd land on bankrupt.
Yeah, right.
I got the spinner here for you.
Okay, that's cool. That is a really neat project, Sloopy.
Yeah, you see, I look forward to good features, and that's
and what you put on the back of the circuit board is probably worth mentioning again. That we have folks out there like you're a pretty electronically savvy guy, circuit savvy kind of guy, but not everybody knows everything, and there are a lot of people who are willing to help and brainstorm on this. So the fact that you were able to get that help and were even kind enough to acknowledge that help on the circuit board was pretty cool. And it's just kind of a testament to who we have in our community. Just kind of echoing the whole newsletter thing and how this year has been. We do have some fine folk in this Coco Club. And you're one of them. Even though you're our Atari guy, you're still a pretty decent Coco guy too. So.
Oh, thank you.
Coming from Stevie, that's almost a compliment.
Yeah.
Yeah. With what's down here, you wouldn't think that I was an Atari guy because everything is either Coco or Commodore down here at the moment.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. That's a neat project.
Well, the first step is admitting that you have a problem.
I don't have a problem.
It's a hobby.
You're in denial.
It's not a problem. It's a hobby.
There is a difference between a hoarder and a hobbyist. A hobbyist has a theme to the stuff that they hoard.
That's it. There you go.
And it's not just like used Q-tips.
Right. Cool. Did anybody else have a project update? Anything you want to share with us? I know you got a lot of coals in the fire, Alan. Anything you want to tell us about, or just hold off because you've been blogging and doing things and newslettering?
Yeah, I've got an update coming out probably very early January on my game project. So it's been making good progress. I've been having a lot of fun with the video code and CoCoVGA and things like that. And I got a Tandy 4-slot multi-pack in this week.
Nice.
That is Coco 3 ready after swapping out the PAL chip in it. So that's kind of fun. I can finally get back to doing some of the audio driver testing and things like that now that I can plug in all these different boards at once.
Very cool. Yeah, I mean, the community that we have, the group of people we have that come together on the show and that watch the show, the people on Discord, there's so many people, so many different talents and contributions. I think we've done a decent job trying to capture some of that in the newsletter, but it's really hard to put it was hard to put justice to the news, even though we covered a lot of news. There's a lot we didn't cover. There's been so much stuff going on. The amount of camaraderie that we have, the amount of collaboration and how people share knowledge and information and stuff like that. It's really impressive. And especially this year, considering how much the things outside our house have sucked as far as being able to, get toilet paper or buy food, or people losing their jobs. There's been so much real world crap going on. But in the Coco world, this has been an amazing year despite COVID, or maybe because of COVID, who knows? But whatever the case may be, I'm really realizing, not that I ever doubted it, but this year has really shown just how much of a community we really are. And there's a lot of amazing things have happened. I'm just excited to see where this is all going. What's 2021 going to be like? I mean, Nick Marenti's released 3 freaking AAA title games in 1 year, So what's 2021 going to be like? Hopefully the more people do, the more it's going to inspire other people to get up and try something too. And that's been happening. It's been happening where, it started. I remember 5 years ago when I started listening to the Coco Crew, and one of their goals was, hey, the community seems like it's starting to go downhill. Let's try to bring it back to life, and we are way beyond that point at this point. We are thriving, and I think what happens is that when one person does something, it inspires another person. And we all have different talents, so not everybody's a programmer or a musician or whatever. But, I think people are all getting inspired and doing different things, and it just all kind of feeds back into the ecosystem. And then the volume of all these contributions, I think, just inspire people to do more things, So, and so I'm just thinking that this snowball is going to continue to grow, and I can't wait to see what happens next year, Cool stuff. Did anybody else have anything else they wanted to share or talk about? Acquisitions. Yeah.
Stevie, I suggest you go back and rewatch this.
Okay.
Because I'm getting a real kick out of hearing you say such wonderful, heartfelt words with antlers and a deer nose.
Oh, okay. Does that take away from the genuine?
No, not at all. Not at all.
I think
no, I just thought it was kind of funny.
Heartfelt
but no,
words
are really nice.
Heartfelt words are more impactful when said with antlers.
Yes,
reindeer antlers.
Absolutely.
And nose, yeah.
Oh dear.
But like Sloopy, you're fairly new to our community, so you have a fresh perspective. Obviously, you've given some shout outs to some people. But how's it been for you coming from the Atari world, coming into the Coco world? How have you found switching to a different public swimming pool?
I find that it's obviously a lot different because of the way the systems work and the people are. I've been shying away from the Atari community a little bit for various reasons at the moment, but the big thing is that the people are friendly and knowledgeable, and the thing is that they don't call you out for stupid questions. They'll just answer them and say, hey, here's where more information can be found.
Unless you ask them on this show.
Yes. Yes, very definitely. It's because of that. I used to do a lot of Amiga repairs, and because of the people and such, I've completely dropped literally all dealing with the Amiga at all. I'll play with it in a emulator, and that's about it. I just don't really do anything in that community at all anymore. And it's the Coco community seems much more friendlier, much more tighter knit, is to being inclusive as opposed to exclusive.
No, that's cool. Yeah, and Alan, you're another one. You're somewhat new to being more vocal in the community, and so you're somewhat of a new timer as far as being like an active player, but you have done a lot and contributed a lot this year, and so I would say if we were going to be if this was an award show, you would probably be in the running for the rising star, new up and comer of the community, Alan, because you've just done so much stuff with your newsletter contributions and the stuff you talk about on the show. You've always got some really good value-added knowledge. I'm sure you've probably gleaned a few things too, but you've been a great kind of tutor and mentor and knowledge sharer. So yeah, you've definitely been a great asset as far as a new member to the community. So glad to have you. Glad for you to spend some of the time you have on this show and on the newsletter to share that with folks. I don't know what we can say about Nick Marotta. I'm trying to think of something nice. It'll come to me.
Well, one thing you got to realize for some of these newer folks is Just remember when you do meet David Ladd, he's a hugger.
Stevie, if
your
you can't
vaccine
think
first.
if you can't think of anything nice to say about me, Stevie, I've got a list of stuff I can say.
Oh, okay. You wanna just send me a DM
Well,
on that real quick? Yeah.
You
so-
know, the hair. I'm
The
going to start
hair.
with the hair.
Yes.
You know, and my wit.
Yes,
My my humility.
Your humility.
I'm most proud of my humility.
Yes, I would definitely say that. So
Actually, Stevie, I've said this before, but I'll say it again. I really appreciate, you know, how open you are with having us come on the show, and you give us the ability to, you give us the latitude to run our segments the way, you know, and do what we, not to say do what we want, but you give us a lot of latitude, and you enable us to do our thing and bring it all together week after week, and I really appreciate that.
well, thank you. I've been fishing for that compliment for like 45 minutes now. Finally, somebody took the bait. No, I'm just kidding. No, that's.
You're not the only one with a brown nose here.
What are you using for bait, Stevie?
Thank
Tim
you, thank you.
Hortons.
Thank you, you too kind. Thank you. Yeah.
It's been a real blast doing the GameON segment.
It is. What I love about this show is the show has become bigger than itself because of the contributions. What's that saying? It's the sum of the whole is greater than the whole, or something like that. I don't know.
So
but
greater than the parts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so something about a whole. I just remembered there was a hole in there somewhere. But yeah,
whole lot of.
And I got a lot of encouragement.
The hole is bigger than the part that goes in the hole. I don't know how it goes, but it's something like that, right? So.
And I appreciate the encouragement I get from people who say they enjoy the show, and you know, I get the odd comment here and there how, you know, they appreciate the work that goes into it, and it's a real pleasure. I really enjoy it.
Likewise. And in a Coco cat sighting, Rob Inman says, so Raven Wolf says, hey guys, just wanted to appreciate all of you guys, and the show along with Discord has really helped me find my childhood, and now that I have my adult money. Isn't that ironic now that we can buy things that we couldn't when we were a kid? Yeah. Yeah, I know we're kind of waxing nostalgic. I wasn't planning on doing that, but just kind of worked out that way. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's all good. I need a hug. And where's David? I need a hug. And so somebody had mentioned that there were no Australians on, and that is not true. We did have Chad Cunnington on earlier, so we did have at least one of our Australian. Here we go. 8 Bits in the Basement has got it for me right. The whole is greater than the sum of its parts. And that is a good explanation for the show, right? So it's become bigger because of all the various contributions that we have, and it just becomes, you're throwing all these ingredients in the pot, and then all of a sudden it just, boom, it explodes into something awesome, right? So it's a good melting pot. Speaking of the pot, Grant Leaney. Grant, you've been awful quiet today, Grant. What's going on with you in your world? You're muted, Grant. And by the way, the Chiefs suck.
Hey, they kicked your ass. That's all I have to say. We still are Super Bowls champions, so no, nothing much is going on up here. Just working a lot. I'm putting in about 50 to 60 hours a week, so I'm just thankful right now that I have a job. And
yeah, absolutely. Nice shirt, by the way, too. Good shirt.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, it's awesome. And we do have, I mean, we are an international show, but we had all the way from France. We've had today Le Curtis Boyle, so our French correspondent, which has been great.
I am in French Canada,
adding
Montreal.
some culture to the show. Did you bathe before you came on the show, Le Curtis?
I bathed with Axe body spray.
Okay.
It's what we call a French shower.
I thought that was called a hillbilly shower.
You shave your armpits.
If you're in France, why do you have a Canadian flag?
I don't know. I don't know why he's making fun of the French Canadians.
I have no idea.
Stevie took us to France. It was supposed to be French Canada.
Oh, is that what
Montreal.
it was? Okay.
Yeah,
what do I know? It shows you how ignorant I am. Yeah. So, the year's not over, but it's been a great year. Where are we going, and why are we in the handbasket? Do we have anything else we need to talk about today? It's been a short show. We're only at 2.5 hours. It's kind of a short show.
I can give a little update.
Okay, we have an update from Jason the Coco Man Reichert. I'm pretty sure a toggle switch may or may not be involved in this.
Toggle switch may be involved. No, still working on those Joey high res pre-orders. Getting towards the end of them, so I'd say here in the next few weeks I'm going to be opening that back up for additional orders. Just We're just going to have to take a little slow this time, but got that working. And just a little, this isn't really that Coco related, but I did show off the Coleco Atom, and I did manage to find a local vintage video game and movie type store, and I did pick up Zaxxon for the ColecoVision. It's got a little bit of a smudged up label there, but my little local place I found here, a little place called, I think it's called like Just Play Games. It's this little teeny tiny place in Steubenville, Ohio, of all places, but they had ColecoVision games. I didn't have Donkey Kong. I got Donkey Kong. Got Looping.
Oh, I remember that game.
Looping, yes. I've played the arcade version of that. And what else did we get? We got Carnival and Venture. So, and I'm still playing around with the Atom a little bit, trying to figure out how to make my own digital data packs, which are that's the fancy name for those proprietary cassettes.
Oh,
it's interesting. It's hard to see, but it's interesting because they're missing, like the holes for like the cap stand and everything. They, looks like someone drilled that one, but they don't normally have those holes in them. It's probably hard to show up on camera, but there's a place for it, but it's not actually there, so it won't fit into a regular. On both sides, it won't fit into a regular cassette player. Plus, I think on the one side here, on the top of it, they have these extra holes in the top there. So if you want to make your own digital, then you have to tear apart a cassette and drill holes in the top of it, and then you still can't format it. You have to literally take the formatting from another tape. It's very odd.
Proprietary.
And Patrick seems to be amused.
Yeah, I could just imagine how many different ways they tried to sabotage using a regular cassette. And there they are.
Oh, and here they are. And the other thing is, it uses both sides. It's only once. You can only put it in one side, and it uses both sides
it's using the full width
at the same
It's
time.
like a double head or something.
Yeah, so I'm watching a video here of a fellow, I don't remember the name on YouTube right now, but he was talking about how you could take the digital data pack files that you would use in an emulator, then use a utility to convert it to a WAV file, and then to put it into your sound editor and separate the two channels, and you have to feed it into once you drill, you can use a regular cassette. I think they recommend like the Sony 60-minute HF ones if you can still find them, the normal bias tapes. And then you still have to drill those two extra holes in the top there. And then you play the WAV file, and it's like an hour-long process. You have to record almost a half an hour worth side one, and then you have to take the second track and in your audio editor and reverse it. And then cue it up on the other side, and right to the point right before as the sound starts, and then do like a two-handed thing where you start the record and start playing the second side in reverse, and wait another half an hour and hope it works. I haven't tried it yet.
It's a simple two-step process.
Get
right on that.
27 easy to follow steps. You can take a digital data pack file for your Atom and put it on a cassette. I mean, I really have to see if they have like a Coco SDC equivalent or something like that.
They have
to. That just sounds like
Why don't you get the disk drive for the Atom?
They are incredibly rare and expensive, from what I've seen.
Maybe that Arduino could be adapted.
So there is what's
possibly
called the Atari Max cartridge I have from my ColecoVision. That should work on the Atom, where you just put in an SD card and load in all your ROM images, and that works for cartridge-based stuff. And I'm sure they've probably adapted tapes to that.
Very, very possibly, and because like I have the Harmony cartridge for my 2600, like you do.
It's similar to that, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that would probably work for the ColecoVision titles. The other thing I got to get is I got to get around the. I got to come up with a new power supply. Having to turn off the on and off the printer, it's just a complete pain. I get why they did it, but it's a complete pain. And I've seen some solutions that aren't quite all that elegant. And the one thing I thought was really elegant, I haven't seen any updates on for about a year. So that's all I have right now. I'll finish it out. I'll figure it out eventually.
Yeah. Sounds like you're off to. It sounds like you have at least 2 steps into that 40-step process. So you're.
Yeah, I watched the video. Yeah, I watched the video twice. So.
That's like a David Ladd thing. It's like, well, I could do this 80-track, schizoid different flux capacitive variable track sector length floppy because it's theoretically possible in real life, so I'm going to do it in the virtual world.
I just want to be able to load like the I just want to be able to load like the Coleco Atom version of Donkey Kong that has more
that's
screens.
available. It's definitely
because
available.
I have the digital data pack file. I just need to get it onto a digital data pack.
There's a group on Facebook. There's a ColecoVision Maniacs or something like that. There's a couple of different groups on Facebook that I'm on, and I'm sure you could reach out to some people for some help there. So
absolutely.
I remember a while ago I had posted on that group the Sock Masters Donkey Kong. And it was off topic, but I said, like, I know this is off topic in a sense, but because Donkey Kong was like the pack-in to ColecoVision, some of you guys might get a kick out of the fact that this Donkey Kong remix exists and it can run on an 8-bit system. And so I showed that video, and a lot of people liked it, and a few people got really pissy about the fact that I did it because it was off topic and stuff. But it is a fairly useful group. A lot of that's how I found out about all the new hardware things like the Atari Max cartridge and the Falcon boards and all that kind of stuff you can get for the ColecoVision. There's a lot of aftermarket stuff you can get for that thing.
Yeah, there's a Coleco Atom Facebook group I'm on now.
Oh, okay.
I'm just lurking.
And just think too, Henry Reitveld. He, if anybody's going to know anything, it's going to be Reitveld, right?
Yeah, or sent from my phone. Yeah. I've pondered messaging him, but I'm like, it's one of those things. I better do my own research first before I start bothering people about it. I try not to if I don't have to, just to. Probably some people ask, the frequently asked question.
Right. Sometimes the voyage of discovery is the fun part too, so.
Yeah.
Cool. Anything else? Any other updates? Anyone? Bueller?
Oh, good. When I go to fix my ColecoVision, I can just bug you, Jason.
Well, I haven't really fixed anything, and I have a Coleco Atom, but I don't know. I don't have an actual ColecoVision, so that was kind of the compromise.
Yeah.
Good deal.
I only have one other thing to say.
Yes, sir.
I have one last swig of my drink left, so I'm going to say drive wire.
Drive wire. All right, drive wire. Everybody take a drink.
Drive wire.
All right, so maybe we'll go ahead and put a fork in this one.
I say push the button, Frank.
We're going to press the button. All right, so we're going to play the outro. I want to thank everybody who's been joining us in the live chat today, like Kevin Holloway and Mr. Dave and Rob Inman and Reverend Fuzzy. Christopher Mayhew popped by. Hey, Reverend Fuzzy, how you doing? Dave and Sharon, Rob Inman. 8-Bits in the Basement, Raven Wolf, Mikey, he likes it. Explore VR, Ben Drakes, Karen, Anscombe, Sixie has been there, Retro Innovations, Mr. Presidente, El Presidente, Electronic Adventures, and Nimble, and 8-Bits in the Basement, and Rob Inman, and Ken Reichert, and Frodo, and David Ladd, and Sixie, and Kevin Holloway, and Nimble, and Ken Reichert, and Frodo, and you guys are all here, and Auntie M was here, and Toto was there, all kinds of people. Samuel Gimes was here. So I'm done. Stop by here. So a lot of people in the live chat today. Scott Cooper was by here. AC's 8-Bit Zone, and I know I'm missing some people. David Craker has been here. And a lot of people, thank you guys for watching each and every week. Carl Lafferty is saying, hey guys, Reverend Fuzzy, I drank the Kool-Aid and the trains never left the station. I want my money back. We're going to press a button. I want to remind everybody about the Glenside Color Computer virtual meetup, which is taking place tomorrow, 7 p.m. Florida time, 6 p.m. Chicago time. You figure it out wherever the hell else you are in the world, because I'm not that good in math. But it is taking place on the Blue Jeans video conferencing link. The information should be available on the Glenside website, glensideccc.com. It's also in the newsletter, which you can get on there. Check out the newsletter. See what's been going on in the CoCo this past year. I think you might be impressed. And thank you for our special correspondent and co-host and news anchor today, Leigh Curtis Boyle, all the way from somewhere where they speak French in the world. Merci beaucoup, Leigh Curtis.
Oui.
Yes.
Bonjour.
Bonjour. Okay, bonjour, everybody. We're pressing the button. Say goodbye, everybody.
Merry Christmas.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye. This concludes another episode of CoCoTALK, the world's leading live talk show featuring the Tandy Color Computer. For all things CoCoTALK, visit us on the web at cocotalk.live. We'd love to hear from you. Send feedback, suggestions, even segments via email to CoCoTalk@CoCoTalk.live.
CoCoTalk is rocking the 8-bit world, keeping the tandy flame alive. We may be mocked, but we'll never stop, 'cause CoCoTalk is rocking the 8-bit world.
Consider supporting the show with a purchase of merchandise from our retro swag shop at 8bit256.com. If you'd like to become a patron of the show, click the Patreon link at our website at CoCoTalk.live.
CoCoTalk is rocking the 8-bit world, keeping the tandy flame alive. We may be mocked, but we'll never stop, 'cause CoCoTalk is rocking the 8-bit world.
CoCoTalk would not exist without the community, its cast, crew, and contributors. Thanks go to Curtis Boyle, David Ladd, Mark Overholzer, Grant Leedy, Bruce Moore, Nick Marentes, Ron Delvaux, Rick Adams, Jason Reichert, Richard Lorbieski, Jim Brain, Tom C., Rob Inman, Mark Bosley, Brian Joyce, Ken Reichert, David O'Connor, Brian Weasler, Terry Steggy, Nick Marotta, John Strong, and many more, especially to Steve Bjork for production suggestions and James Different-Daffer for making my head explode. Please help support the CoCo community by visiting some of its various contributors. A list of resources is available at imacoconut.com. That's IMACOCONUT.com. The CoCoTalk theme song is copyright 2008 by D. Bruce Moore and Greg Sheeler. Mixed, mastered, and produced by D. Bruce Moore.
Got these little mice toys that squeak.
All
and
right,
it's
so
cute.
real quick before we press the button, I posted in the live chat the link to the Glenside Color Computer website. I also posted the link to the Blue Jeans actual meeting address too. So the actual clickable URLs are there for your clicking pleasure. However, if you click now, you'll be waiting for quite some time before anybody shows up, because it will be 7 p.m. tomorrow. So I would just say click responsibly.
Click early, click often.
Click early, click often.
You won't be late.
You won't be late. That is true. We're pressing the button. Say goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.